Warning. True Sundaze is an entertainment podcast ran by entertainment professionals. Do not take what we say seriously. Don't even listen if you get offended easily. That being said, if you're brave enough to still be here, then sit down, shut up, and get ready, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. Welcome to True Sundaze, your auntie's favorite podcast, season 4, episode 4. And we have a pretty special guest on with a sick ass shirt. Before we get to you, please.
It's raw.
Save the best for last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never mind. So many jokes. Marcus,
yes.
We got Marcus Bolanos, aka Marcus Me, aka Shinobi.
Ambi.
Second time back up here.
Put solar on your bitch's house.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All up in your bitch's house.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that's him.
Global warming bill.
Yes. So we're saving the world one rooftop at a
One
time.
roof at a time.
I like that, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of anything solar, anything new with solar, anything crazy, anything new with you?
Anything new with me? No, just living life one day at a time. Putting one foot in front of the other. Making sure I hit the gym. About it.
And basketball.
And basketball.
He
You
almost fell down the steps because he's so sore. It was
Yes.
actually a little comical.
It was
I gave him a
crazy.
hug. He's like, dude, I'm sore. We're going
I
on the
heard
basement.
that.
And he like
Yeah.
fell and hit both walls. And he was like, fuck.
There's no handrail. Be careful. Be careful out there.
From playing ball?
It's dangerous.
I was hooping.
Yeah, he really was, though.
I balled out today. No lie.
It's
Hey, I'll
dangerous
leave
up
it to you.
there.
I don't play basketball at all.
Nobody. Believe it or not, this
I can
guy, he he hit me with, I don't like basketball, but I love chess and golf.
Yeah, you?
Who, me?
You
Yeah.
like chess and golf?
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Like,
Hold
let's
on.
sit
Chess and
down,
golf.
smoke, chill out, play some chess, go golfing. Like,
Braden,
love it.
Braden just got back from golfing.
I did.
Braden, anything? How'd that go?
So I played like 9 holes, my first like half of the 18.
Oh.
Played like shit. But then I ran into some players that I coached in high school, and we like started like kind of like bullshitting. And I was listening, actually random. So the guys, we got paired up with a twosome that was already there, and I worked out with one guy back in like way back in the day at 24, like when it first opened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I feel like I know you. But then like the other guy that was in the twosome was my childhood neighbor when I was like 10. So we used to hang out when we were 10 years
That's a trip.
old.
Small world, huh?
Yeah, and so we
Honestly.
were like playing golf together, and I was like, dude, do you remember these people? And he's like, oh yeah, I just ran into this guy like yesterday or whatever. So we were playing, and he was actually a really good golfer, and so he's like giving me points because I suck. And so we played that whole round, and we got better as the day went long because we were just staying super sober the whole time. And then so we got
Wait a minute. Swing juice, no swing juice.
I loosened up a little bit on the back. So like
Yeah.
the back 9 I started playing better. And then we ran into a couple players that I coached when they were like in Pop Warner. So they're like 12. Now they're 21. And so we linked up with them. So we played the full 18. Then we played like another 6 holes probably with them. And we were playing way better on the back. Like
You had competition now, huh?
like 19 through 25 or whatever it was. Yeah, we had competition, and Trey just talks mad shit. So Peter was getting all sorts of, anxiety.
Yeah.
So yeah, it ended up it was a great, we saw probably,
Speaking of Peter.
we saw probably 10 people out there today that we were like, hey, what's up?
That's
so
dope.
it was really cool just to be able to be out and like run into like literally like tons of people that I haven't seen in like years.
That's
And
awesome.
we were running into all of them today, so it was cool.
Dude,
Yeah.
random. We're at a fucking gas station in Campo, and we saw Yako, the Ollie's bartender, in the back.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what are the chances of seeing you here? He's like, well, I live out here, so I'm here all the time. I said, this is the first time I ever stopped in this parking lot ever. My dad had to get beer. And he's like talking to my mom. I was like, what the fuck? I was in a different car. Like, when gave him a hug. He was like, it was sick.
Just
Yeah,
Lodi
Lodi's
for you.
tiny, man.
Yeah.
That was cool though. It was a good day.
Hell yeah. I'm glad. That's good.
I hate Mickey's, but actually, I'm gonna take that back. Shout out Mickey's.
Shout out Mickey's.
You guys are doing better
New
than you
ownership.
guys have been.
Yeah.
You guys are doing better than you have been, but in the past, I didn't like you.
It's not a lot of
That's
shade
respect in
out
the
there.
streets.
What's
Mickey
that?
Grove?
It's not a lot of shade out
Yeah.
there.
The golf
No,
yeah, I don't know.
shade anymore. Actually, but in the past there was shade.
Do you want to scoot that a little bit closer to the edge of the table? Because you can lean back, but yeah, there you go.
Like this?
Yeah.
All right.
And I know you, but I don't know if they know you. So go give us a breakdown on who you are there,
My name is Dewayne Jackson.
Dwayne the Rack Jackson.
Dewayne Jackson Jr. I don't know. Wayne, whatever feels easier.
Bruce
My
Wayne?
Spanish name is Donicio.
Bruce Dwayne.
Bruce Dwayne.
Hell yeah, Batman.
Lil Wayne, like whatever. But besides what I do for work and
What do
my
you do
free
for
time,
work?
I'm a UPS man.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm a UPS man.
yeah, that's a
dropping
good-
them
that's a
packs
good
off
gig.
worldwide.
Yeah, no.
To be honest,
It's a
to
good
be
gig,
honest,
right?
Yeah, it is. But it's like it made me want to pursue more. So it's like besides UPS, I do NFTs, I do graphic design. I also do
Oh,
a
shit.
podcast on my own.
Yeah, I have that on here actually.
What podcast do you?
It's called Let's Talk Forella. So I talk about like
Shout out.
investments, cryptocurrency, conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
All right,
relationships.
so like, let's cut the shit. What's the big conspiracy?
Wait,
right
I
now?
want to tell how we met real quick.
Oh, okay.
Long,
well, that sounds
long story
gay, but
short,
all right.
before we get
How did we meet?
homophobic and get all lovey-dovey, I met this guy through this guy. They're both named
Shout out
as
Marcus.
Marquis.
Shout out, Marky.
That's Marcus. This is little
I was gonna say you're not Marky. You
Actually,
are kinda,
we got Marcus Marcos.
You kind of are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's Marcus. I'm Marcos, and he's Marcus me, and I'm
Marcos me.
Mark, kiss me again. Kiss me one more
please.
time.
So I met this bite-sized snack to this snack over here.
5'7"
a good
slice
time.
of heaven.
And then we went to
Sorry, I asked.
shit. We went wakeboarding, had a great time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where the bromance erupted.
yeah.
more like a
Honestly.
romance.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bromance.
We're like
Yeah.
like a inverted Oreo.
pretty
I'm the
much.
chocolate in the middle, and these my two creams right here.
Yeah, but I'm like the one that I'm like a little more tense. I'm more of like I'm the one that you like put over the. Oh no, wait, I was thinking of s'mores. I was thinking of s'mores.
Who's telling you?
Yeah,
that?
no, nobody's telling him that.
he
You
shows
don't
up
think
to
I'm
the
No.
wakeboarding
He's
place
like
with-
the one
with
side of the
tanning oil.
Oreo, you're in the middle, and then they were like, "Oh, well, you like got some cream in this chocolate.
Listen, I'm not-
Fucking
There's a
pound
horchata-
that,
there's
pound that
horchata
cookie
flavored
out. We're gonna
chocolate.
go, yeah.
Listen, I'm not-
horchata on one side.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not as
It's
tan as
like a twisted, you know.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm
I'm
not
like-
as tan as Dwayne, but
I'm like
you know,
a dark
pretty tan.
white.
Yeah.
Like imagine white, just like a little bit dark.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's you.
That's me.
But we went snowboarding. I mean, wakeboarding.
Wakeboarding.
we
And,
will go snowboarding.
Yeah, we will.
Can you snowboard?
Hell yeah.
Can you
Hella
ski?
Good. Ski no.
No.
Do you ski?
No.
No.
I do ski.
No. You do?
No, I'm not gay. I fucking snowboard.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, if you ski,
it
where's
alone.
your septum ring
Leave it
at?
alone.
Braden skis.
It's my septum ring.
You
I don't,
ski?
know, I don't even know what that is, but it's right here.
Is there your septum? No, your septum's here.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we had a good ass time. Fucking.
We
yeah.
got hit on by some rich ass.
Why do you
retired
have to
dude.
bring this up to everybody, dude?
Let's hear about it. What,
He didn't-
was because it was you guys were wakeboarding?
Wait, no. So Marky went up and talked to him first.
No, hold
Yes.
on.
Oh,
I
no,
scorpioned
no,
in front of him.
Okay, let's explain the whole story. So we're out
and he
there.
was like, "Oh my god, he's so flexible."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was like, "Did his head just touch his feet?" Oh my god.
So we're going out to Wake Island, right? And so Wayne's out there. I got Marky, and Wayne's talking mad game, like he's gonna go and he's gonna be BMX out there, do a bunch of 360s and shit. He's like, I'm so good at the snowboard. It's gonna be easy. And so we
Snowwater.
go out there, and I'm all the way on the far end, right? So if it's a lake and you're tugged by a pulley system, it takes you all the way around this big man-made lake. So
Huge cable.
I'm on the other side, right? Complete other
Is that what they
side.
told you?
It was
Yeah,
average.
he's got
It was
huge
average
cable.
size.
Yeah.
It was average size. So I'm all the way on the far side, and then all of a sudden the slack cuts out. I'm like, what happened, dude? And so I look, and then they bring the jet ski out. So I know someone's hurt.
dead.
Somebody's in the water. I'm like, oh no, please don't let that be one of my friends because there's a line here.
We just
And
started.
We
This is
just started.
Literally a
the
minute
first
in.
run, and so then
Yeah.
I walk my happy ass all the way around, and then I see
It's
Wayne
me.
sitting down.
Hey, hold on. There's more
They were
context to
afraid.
that.
There we got a black guy face down in the water. This is serious.
It's
This guy's
funny
gonna
you
drown.
say that because the guy who owns it, he comes up. He's like, "Hey, are you like not too familiar with water?"
You're
I
like,
said, "Motherfucker, I swim." I said, "I don't get pulled from 0 to 25 all the time."
Anybody would have been here.
Yeah, I'm like anybody.
This isn't me 'cause I'm
Anybody
black.
of
This is
any
me 'cause I'm
shade
human.
would have been right here in this moment. Plus, when it dragged me, I didn't let go. I'm thinking
did
I
not.
could turn around and stand up,
He
so I
did think
held
that.
on. And then by the time I let go, my vest was loose, so it's like up here. I don't know to lay on my back,
Yeah,
be calm,
would?
unbuckle my
Yeah.
feet, and I'm sitting there like,
Full freak out. Yeah.
bro. But the worst part was everybody thought I was joking. So before the jet skis came out, everybody's like,
What?
hey,
Yeah.
you good? I'm like, no. He's like, you know what? And then the guy gets on the jet ski and then he looks back at me. He's like, bro, you're good? I'm like,
Dude,
no,
hold on.
motherfucker, I'm dying.
This is how close he was to the start. The guy started the jet ski, and that initial startup boost, he turned it off. That's how close he was. Like, and like turned it off. I was like, you good? Like, just stand up, pretty much. But yeah.
No,
it wasn't.
No,
It was
I got back, took a breath.
10 breaths.
But dude, did I give up?
No,
did
you
I
didn't.
give up
No,
at all?
man, the whole day.
I went
Give
out
you
there
props
like
for that.
30, 40 times.
Give him props for that.
Seriously,
Mad props.
he was getting the hang of it. It was like either too nose heavy or too heel heavy. And there's no in between. I was like, just half both of those, and you're good. And he's just
You got to do less. Do less. No, do more.
Oh,
do more.
yeah.
Do
but
nothing.
you guys
Yeah,
didn't
do
tell
nothing.
me
You have
that
to
there
do
was a
something.
fucking training ring on the
We
other
didn't
side.
know.
We didn't know.
That was my first
we
time.
Didn't know.
They go there all the
Never
time.
been.
no, that was my first time.
Doing backflips.
Yes, swear on my life. It took me 4 tries. I know how to backflip. I just correlated that to the water in a ramp.
That was insane because everybody was blown away. Like,
Hey,
there's
thank
no
you.
way this is this guy's first time.
That was like maybe my 8th time wakeboarding altogether. But I've never jumped
I was
before.
impressed. I was impressed.
Thank
I'm
you.
like,
Appreciate that.
And
everybody's
so
like,
was the guy. So was the guy. He was impressed too, and he was like,
Yeah?
"Hey, man, I like
Yeah,
you.
Don't stoke his ego.
We should hang out."
Hey, we out here fun.
He's like, I should.
hey, he was
He was
trying
super
to Jeffrey
impressed.
Epstein us.
Yeah,
He was trying
he
to get
was.
us to his house to hang out.
To hang out. He's like, I got alcohol at my house. I have a boat. Like, you guys like
yeah.
swimming? I have a pool.
He's
Dude,
like, I'm just
he
north
was giving
this
us
way.
alcohol. He was giving
Yeah.
us food. He was giving us compliments. He looks at this guy. He goes, hey, you kind of work out a
Yeah,
lot.
he said,
And
"Who do you look like?
what-
Who do you look like?"
I forget.
No, I do.
No, he was
Zac
saying
he
Mark-
said Zac
Mark
Efron.
Wahlberg.
Zac Efron.
Your
He's
name's
like, you kind of
Marky?
look like Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll work out. And the guy's grabbing his arms. He's
that's
like,
not how it
oh.
happened.
Wait, I think I remember
Dwayne
he grabbed
wouldn't
your
lie.
arm.
Well, I'm
He didn't
pretty
grab your bicep and said, oh, okay.
Yeah, but listen, a lot of people grab my bicep, but he didn't grab my upper thigh, Dwayne.
Wait, what?
That's because he's sitting there.
Uh-huh.
He's we're sitting next
Yeah.
to each other.
You grabbed
I
his upper
wasn't
thigh.
No, he grabbed his upper thigh.
Oh no.
Because look, after he grabs Marky, he looks at me. He's like, "Dude, all you got to do is stay calm, keep your legs straight, and you'll
Keep
be all
these,
right."
keep these
But
meaty,
while he
keep these
tells me
meaty
Juicy.
thighs just
keep
straight.
the
Lubricated.
meaty blue collar thighs nice
Like,
and
blue
firm.
collar. I work in
He
IT.
did this.
Get away from me. I'm over here web designing. Get off of these. I sit behind a computer, bud. Get out of here.
That's hilarious.
Bro, like he was hella cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to fuck
he was hella cool.
What about when we left? When we left and that guy was walking out with the crop top, I was like, okay, hey, what's up? He was shouting from the back seat. And then he was just like, hey, it must be real hard to work with all those beautiful young girls all
dude,
day. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my
Because a
God.
worker was walking up. We're in the car at this point, and he was like wearing a crop top, and Dwayne was like, oh fucking whatever. Like,
Yeah, this guy's in the crop.
Yeah, yo, you rock it, like whatever, nothing crazy.
Yeah, like you're rocking that crop, bro.
And then the guy's like, yeah, he's like working here, like whatever. And then the guy in the back was next to me over there and was like, yeah, it must be tough working with all those beautiful, young, grabbed Dwayne's thigh women.
I'm in the front seat, but he grabs my thigh.
Yeah.
He grabs his shoulder to shoulder.
Long
Shut the
pause.
fuck up.
Women.
Dude.
He said girls, dude. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Told
He's
us a
like-
crazy story though. He's having a hard time. talking
Yeah,
about
I
some
mean,
shit.
listen, it's all. I just probably would never fucking go on his boat.
Yeah,
And-
No, because
No.
you know what would happen? We would sail, and then all of a sudden we're at an island.
We
He's
would
like, hey,
sailboat.
all of a sudden
would
we're on this
set
island
sail.
hanging out, and then he's like,
It's never
hey,
been a
guys.
good thing.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like he's like, I got money. Come to the crib, come hang out. It's fine. And I'm like,
He almost got us. He was totally like, I got candy, but really
Yeah.
he said, I have a boat. And we're like, fuck. But then we started hanging out, and we're like, fuck, I don't want to see his boat.
yeah,
Ever,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
No. And respect in the streets to us.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
for
all
not-
could have been
yeah, fucking.
in a bathtub full of
Yeah,
ice.
you,
Woke
guys
up
were,
ass
you guys
naked.
were almost on the news.
Yeah.
No, Marky would have been on the news. I just would have been cut up into pieces, spread
Zac-
around. He
Zac
would have been
Efron
missing.
looked-
Yeah,
like,
he,
yeah.
yeah, he liked you too much.
He was loving the
He would've-
eyes.
He would have kept me alive, huh? He would have been
Yeah, he liked
He was
these
loving
guys.
them eyes.
I love you better with a beard.
oh my God.
Why you acting like you didn't say
He
that?
did.
Yeah, he took that to another level. Yeah.
Dude.
He knows too much.
He wasn't even
knows
like
too much.
subjectifying you based on your body anymore. He was like, I like the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, bring it back. Like the beard, it works for me.
Dude, with that lesbian. that lesbian girl was fucking trying to get at me too.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, I know this is really weird, but you look a lot like my ex-boyfriend.
And
Can I
you
take
did.
a picture
You
with
did.
you?"
I was way taller.
I know you look a lot like
Who
my
was taller,
ex-boyfriend.
him?
Me than her ex-boyfriend. He was like 5'9". I was way taller. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna go to the next.
5'9"?
He wishes.
You guys all suck. What suck the most? You have a really good memory. You have a very good memory,
I don't forget nothing.
you were drinking that day too.
Yeah.
That don't
He
mean-
doesn't forget
I'm
times when he was
rape
almost
proof.
he was
I'm
almost
rape proof.
No,
he doesn't forget times
that's
he was
false.
almost abducted.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
Dude, like this guy, both these guys, they bring back beers like, hey man, he just gave us beers. I'm like,
He
well,
was
if you
buying
guys
us
are
beers,
drinking them.
dude.
yeah,
It was
he
a
was
good time.
ready. He was
I had
ready
a
to
great
give
time.
like a description of the guy.
Yeah.
I did too. And it was your birthday. He
Yeah.
paid for all the beers and all the food. I was like, happy
Yeah,
birthday, Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the fugitive was 5'9", white male with a creepy beard.
Yeah.
Oh, he would have got caught. They wouldn't even look for him.
Yeah, they knew it was him.
You
If
better
anything
off saying
happened-
there was a black guy at the lake and he had on glasses.
And that
Hey.
dude could swim.
Hey, I could what? After I started swimming, everybody was looking at me like
Wayne, how you almost
Yeah.
drowned with a life jacket on? Though,
That is
bro?
it was
true.
loose. It was loose. It was loose.
Hey, we did a lot of helmet try-ons and a lot of life jacket try-ons, and he even changed his wakeboard too, and none of that worked. None of it.
Yeah, no.
He did a bunch of laps to the shed and back for.
It's not
exercise.
like snowboarding.
No,
Like
it's not.
snowboarding, you
It's way
fall
different.
so much to the point your body's in pain. You like, you know what? I don't want to do again.
It's fall.
Fucking fall.
Yeah.
And after a while, you're all, like, bro, I snowboard so good. Wakeboarding was just black and white, bro.
I've heard this before. Marcus was telling me that you were saying this about wakeboarding, and
We gotta take him out.
yeah.
Hey,
we got to
give
go
me
with
some
us.
time. Let me marinate. Next time, I'm gonna be
Okay.
good. Mind you, you guys didn't warn me about
The biceps.
the intense ass pain I was gonna be in.
With the, he's like, I feel like I did a. He was like, first I feel like I did 1,000 curls. Then we get to dinner. He's like, I feel like I did 1,000,000 curls. Like, it
It
just
jumped
progressively
up.
got worse.
And then I woke up the next day like, dude,
2 billion
I did
curls.
2 billion curls, and I didn't call out like a puss at all.
yeah, he's still
I
Went to
respect
work
that.
180
like this.
stops.
Listen,
Had arthritis.
my hands, my hands were hurting.
He's about to be conjuring the devil on your ass.
Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
This guy at this lake, man, he gave me this shit.
Yeah.
And he touched my
Yeah.
thigh. And then he put something in my vein. I liked it.
Yeah.
And we're moving on. Fuck. Okay, do you guys want to go conspiracy or do you want to fucking talk about your brand?
Well, real quick, my brand is about
Not real quick. I want to know how you started it.
I
Real
gotta
quick.
figure out what this is driving me nuts. What's that shit called where you like you got the shakes? My grandma's got it. I can't remember.
Parkinson's.
Parkinson's. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got Parkinson's out there like
Yeah,
recording.
And the next day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking-
dude.
looking
I
like-
was.
He got
Like-
the Parkinson's.
I was gonna make a
Okay.
joke, not gonna make a joke. Anyways,
Yeah, let's hear it.
no,
Come
no,
on.
no.
Make
Let's hear it. Come
Is
on.
it bad and offensive? You gotta say it.
No, it's about the guy from Back to the Future.
Michael
Oh,
J.
yeah.
Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael
I love
J.
that man.
Nah.
He's
you
an
can't-
icon,
You
bro.
can't talk about Michael J.
That's
You
why.
kind of
No,
you kind of
It's
can
too
though.
soon.
No, that's like a sin. You can't.
It's Cardinal
It's
rule.
blasphemy.
I didn't.
Blasphemy.
I didn't do
You
it.
totally
Alright,
did,
Okay.
man.
You pretty much said it though. You
All
might as
right.
well say it now.
Cut it out. Cut this
Fuck all
out.
you guys.
Cut this out. Yeah, cut this out.
All right, we're gonna get to your brand. Okay, you ready?
Okay,
So, how, why, and when did you start this brand?
so
He was so used to seeing hella sick brands out there. He was like, dude, there's
Well, it's actually pretty fucking
it's
dope.
flooded with so much cool shit.
well, to be honest, like I said, I love my job. I love what I do, and
The
it's
side
like,
hustle.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I want to make it my priority because it's like, okay, working at UPS, I make good money. It's not a secret. As of right now, we make like, I want to say it's like $43.50 or something
That's
like
awesome. Keep talking to the mic.
But it's like,
Thank you.
after pursuing that, and I went to school to do art, and I'm like, damn, I'm easily making this much money with no education, no nothing. All I'm doing is just going to work and working my ass off. Imagine if I really use some of this capital that I have left over month to month and educated myself in something like learn how to do stocks, learn how to do crypto, learn how to reinvest within my retirement plan to make more money for myself. And then I'm like, you know what can I do to push it further? How can I capitalize on the most money in the smartest way possible? And then I start thinking about how the biggest industry on the planet is sports. Everybody watches sports, and the biggest problem in sports is nobody pays attention to mental health. If you don't physically have something wrong with you, broken bone, broken arm, broken finger, they don't care. Get back out there, get this money. Your mental health is not a problem. We've seen it in the movie Concussion. You've seen it with Naomi Osaka. She took some days, and a lot of other athletes after that took personal time. And then I thought to myself, okay, what can we do to capitalize on that, but also have a product that never fails 365 degrees? So after realizing that, we then pursued doing Amazon because of Raul, my boy Marcus's cousin.
Oh, shout out.
Really successful in Amazon. Shouts out Raul. And then I got into his
Like FBA?
program. Yeah. We started off doing FBA. Like
I just had a phone call yesterday about FBA consulting.
So look, let me tell you the whole story before you even consider FBA.
I said no, but it was too much on a startup. It was like $6,800. I was like, I can't afford that right now.
No, and honestly, if you pay somebody else to do your
We'll wake up after this.
All right.
We'll talk about that.
That's so crazy.
honestly, yeah, we can definitely chime on that because I can show you guys step by step how to do everything because I fucked up and then realized exactly how to do it in the most efficient way. So after we did Amazon, a lot of people always source products using Jungle Scout, but then I dug a little deeper, don't use Jungle Scout. There's another program that costs you a lot more bread, and it's called Helium 10. And when I got into that, it's not only does it show you how many people are selling what month to month and how much money they're making each month, but it tells you when they have profit, when they lose profit, when they have gains, why they lose gains, how many people are in that field selling that product and their net worth in that field.
It literally breaks everything down.
It breaks everything down to a key, all the reviews and everything. And then I'm like, okay, we're sitting there. Okay, 10 guys are making $450K. They got 5 stars. That's a perfect product. I can't get in and make money. These guys are making this amount of money. And then we came across Hydro Flask, the actual physical bottle.
Dude, it's badass.
There's one person on all of Amazon making $580,000 a year just selling bottles. Just one person. Wow. And then I goes on Amazon and everybody's bottle is just a different color with a different logo. Everybody has one cap. That's pretty much the silhouette of the bottle. And I'm like, you know what? What if I took this, implemented it in sports, but then also implemented the biggest thing, which is affirmations, announcing what you want in life and chasing after it. Like that's real. Like people don't understand, like the work is one part, but believing in it and working towards it and constantly manifesting that is how shit gets done. And then we came across, okay, game time. Your coach tells you it. Everybody always tells you, yo, it's game time. It's time to get in the game. It's time to get shit done. But then I'm like, okay, how can we break that down? And then we came up with grind and mentally examine the inner me extensively. So before you get into the game, it starts off up here mentally and anything you do. Grind and mentally examine the inner me extensively. But that's only, and it's like,
and you came up with that.
Not even,
That's fucking sick.
And not even Nike has something that like that. No sports industry has anything to do with mental health or anything to do with acronyms or anything to do with mental health. And the biggest thing that all sports say, game time.
Yeah.
Nike will tell you just do it, but they won't break down the just do it aspect of it. So I'm like, okay.
Shit.
You get me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
you're right.
Let's take that. And then a good one, if you guys are going to do Amazon, is if you find your product and it works for you, the best thing to do is go on Alibaba, find that exact product, and you got to be extremely biased with who you contact as a manufacturer on how good their English is, on how fast they respond, on how fast they communicate your samples and things like that. So it's like we had the product. I drew everything out on my iPad. I found a manufacturer on Alibaba. Her name's Kim. She's amazing.
Shout out, Kim.
Shouts out to Kim. And then it was back and forth, me sending her photos, asking for products, asking like, how does she do them and things like that. And then finally we came out with, okay, everybody, even the biggest brand ever, Hydro Flask, when you buy a bottle for $45, you're getting the bottle, you're getting a plastic cap. as a guy who works outside and is very physical,
Yep.
I've destroyed so many hydro flasks because my cap is made out of plastic.
And you can go buy another cap. I'm not gonna fucking go on Amazon and be like hydro flask cap for my 1 gallon. Like, did they make it? Like,
They do, but they want an additional $20 for another cap.
dude, if it falls off a table, my dad did that. Knocked my hydro flask off. It went upside down.
Correct.
Dude, shot the circle of the cap like literally into the bottle, into pieces. I was like, what? But the thread was still there. It was the drinking part hit. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Look,
Like,
the
done.
worst one, I had my shit fall, and you know, like little silver things on the side
Yeah.
that the handle attaches to. It falls, that breaks, and completely cuts the top off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no fucking way that just happened right now. So I'm like, you know what? For my physical guys, for my blue collar boys, I need a steel cap on there. But for my people who ain't really rocking with the steel cap, let me include that plastic cap as well.
No shit.
Yeah,
So,
so
you
it's
can
the-
custom order it, kind of.
Well, it
Well,
comes with
it's a
both of them,
package
huh?
deal.
Yeah, it
Oh,
comes
comes
with
with
both.
So you guys, sorry to reframe, but so
That's
you
genius.
guys are just caps though too.
What do you
Or
mean?
are you guys like hydro flask? Like, not saying like the same brand, right? So you go to Alibaba and you get like some like
our brand is,
variation of the bottle, or is it just you're fixated on the cap itself?
I think it's the whole bottle.
It's
Because
a
bottle-
and
bottle
game
and a
time's
cap.
written down the front of it. It's in
Okay,
red.
so
It's sick.
I was just trying to clarify if it was both or if it was one dynamic. Like he's like
gotcha.
talking about caps. So is the business caps or is
Well,
it
that's how he's-
bottles
that's-
and
Let
caps?
me show you real quick.
That's how
while
he's
Yeah,
making
yeah,
his bottle
talking.
better, is because he's doing a steel cap with his hydro flask and an option.
Yeah, he's
And-
I'm looking at your girl right now, I think.
Yeah, no, wait.
He said no.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like looking at something else.
Wait
Wait
a minute.
What am I
Hold
looking
up.
at? What am I looking at? What's
That's a
happening
good
here?
looking hydro flask
Yeah,
right there.
that's something else.
Dude,
But-
and you have a silicone on the bottom, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because if you want to buy, it's called a boot, and if you want a boot for your hydro bottle, because I won't say the last name, because
Yeah.
fuck those guys.
Who? I don't
If
even
you
talk
want
about.
another boot for it, the boot itself costs $16.
Okay.
So a second cap, I'm at 25. The bottle and the cap itself is another 40, and the second boot is 20. So now I'm at a $70 grand total.
Is that boot that silicone piece on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's like I'm at a $70 total with a bottle that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't tell me nothing. It's a bunch of people who I've never met that just run a company and they
What are
sell
you able to
bottles.
land it at?
How much we sell them at?
Yeah, what can you land the whole
So the
jig
whole
at?
thing sells for 56.
So you're like $20. You're
My ROI is like 85%.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
spent 45 on my 1 gallon hydro flask. Already broke the cap. Was able to, or not the cap, the handle. Was able to pop it back in
You
and
guys
fix
have
it.
a straw on it.
No, but the next season there will be straws.
Straws-
and then season
straws
2
are-
is going to be about.
Straw is a clutch.
Yeah,
I have a
they are.
question.
They are.
So, another to pick your brain a little bit, another idea maybe. Me and my boy Andrew, shout out Andrew, he's other podcast host.
Shouts out
but
Andrew.
He's busy tonight. We and him have the biggest problem of our hydro flasks. We have the big gallon ones rolling the fuck around in my damn truck. I set it on the seat, hit the brake, it's on the floor, and now it's rolling side to side, and I can't reach it. Right.
These guys want a
So-
rectangle or a triangle
Well,
like mount on it.
Here's my thing. And then I set it like I have a center seat in my truck where you can someone short like me could sit. Well, right on that hump where your feet would go, I set it there. It still rolls around. I was like, what the fuck? So I grabbed a carabiner and I have a carabiner on my seatbelt. Now I have to throw my bottle in my passenger seat, carabine the handle to the seatbelt, and that's what keeps it good. And I was like, but I don't want to keep reaching over and then someone's going to get in. Like, what the fuck? So I found a solution where my center console lifts up to someone that could sit there. What I do is I lean my bottle to 45 and I drop my handle down and I let the seat sit on top of it. And it's a quick release. Like I literally just pull the bottle forward, and that's the only thing I can find. But
Well,
what if I don't have a middle seat?
If the
right?
boot though, if you had like a variation of the boot where it had like, so it was smooth. It's a sphere or it's a cylinder
Mm-hmm.
rather, with a bottom. So if the cylinder bottom, was a cylinder, but like as it came around, the size of it, like if it came to like a point, so
Straightened
it had like triangles on both sides, so you could sit it down flat, and so when you turn a corner, it's not going to roll because those two like triangular shapes on either side of the bottle made it sit flat. You
Yeah,
could
but
almost,
But
that-
it still would, even based off the water, because it's like the boot only goes so high.
Yeah,
true.
right.
So all that water, no matter what,
Yeah.
it's gonna go.
Well, I
it's
was
gonna
thinking,
be all over the place.
what if you made like perfectly for me in my truck. It's carpet on that hump. I was thinking of getting like velcroing putting Velcro on the bottom of my, like gluing it to the bottom, the hard shit, and let it stick to my carpet. Then I was thinking, what if you just had a stand that just sticks to your carpet and your bottle? It's like a gallon size cup holder on where your feet would go, right?
What would be the shit though too? Not to jump, but there's nothing in any automobile right now.
No, that's your next fucking move, because I'll buy a million of those.
There's nothing in any automobile right now that can actually house the circumference of a hydro flask.
Not yet.
But if you could get some sort of like install that you like shove in between your seat and your center console, where it's like a vert piece that goes down with like a platform that has a fat like
cup holder
basin, so you could sit your actual hydro flask into it.
The seat catches that goes in between.
Yes, I know exactly.
Imagine if it was like that bottom half,
but just a big ass,
and
like,
then that big ass cup on the thing, and then that way you can
3D print it.
Write that down.
Just a big. You could slip that in between the seats, and then have this like a big, hoop where you could,
hoop.
Yeah,
hoop.
that would work.
It's like a big ass, like a bottle can holder or whatever.
No,
and then how would you? Okay, boom, you do that. And then I feel like the next best step would be to make the straps adjustable so it's universal.
I wouldn't even say strap it, but you just keep it. Well, you could make it adjustable, but if you just had it like genius. Okay, the average. Well, but you do have different bottle sizes for hydro flasks. Like there is like the pint size or whatever, a little bit smaller. Maybe you have like the circumference of the bottle holder has that like tiering like cup holders have. So if you like set it in the bottom holder, it can hold a smaller vase,
like that.
Or if it has,
look at that right there. Grab that blue thing. Can you reach it?
Bigger one.
You might take your headphones off.
Yeah.
So it folds down. It's
So I think it was described as that. So that can fit.
Yeah, exactly that.
That can fit in the smaller diameter. It could fit a Michelob Ultra can, thinner, or it can fit an actual this size beer can all in one into fucking.
So it's like whatever size the hydro
tool.
flask comes in, you just have it like graduate down.
Yeah.
So then the biggest one it would sit at the top.
I've seen
one.
things
They got
like
something
that,
like that.
like the trucker flask. Like it'll be huge on top, but then it'll be cup holder size.
Genius.
On the bottom. And then that way it's universal.
But you could brand it just as like game time.
Thank you.
Honestly, I want to. I'm pursuing. So it's like.
Can you talk?
And we're just talking.
Can you pursue talking into the mic?
We're talking bullshit though too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you pursuing right now?
Well, I mean, so season 1 is going to be about mental health in the sports world, and then season 2 is going to be domestic violence, and
I will say sorry, but there is nothing like that I've seen where I'm like my hydro flask is the same thing. It rolls.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
But if you had like something, because like no modern day car cup holder can house that.
I'm gonna magnetize mine in my hood.
Okay, but look though, here is something. So because I drink a lot of water, so I have like a huge, like a big ass 60 ounce, like a flask thing.
Yeah.
But it has like it has a sleeve on it, and then the sleeve that goes over top, it has like 2 latches on the side, and then it has like a makeshift lanyard that clips onto it. And then what I did is like I tied like a monkey fist knot into the top, and literally I'll tilt it over, and it'll just go through the cap, and it hooks on to everything.
That's genius.
And then it's like if I need to get out of the car, I literally unpop it out of the cap.
Yeah.
And then now I'm holding it like this.
It's genius.
So it's like I'm going into a gym, I can get some shit cracking. Or it's like convenience as hell.
Yeah.
I like that. It's fucking awesome.
So that would work.
Dude,
I like that idea.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, something that like secures that thing from sliding around.
Or dude, like just I was thinking.
What?
Go on.
Make one thin enough you can just sit on it and just it's always with you.
There it is.
Nah, you need something bulky for that ass.
I know, absolutely. Huh? Gosh, I can't believe you posted that too.
Hey, is it your birthday?
No, why?
Well, why do you got all the cake?
Oh my God, stop. Dude, bitches love when I say that. I've only said it to Marcus actually, but
So when you go, what are like your number one hard hitting like pickup lines?
I don't talk to girls. No way, dude. I talk to girls I know.
You don't talk to randos?
Not in Lodi. No way, dude. You fucking put your arm around a chick. The next time you go out, the chick be like, I'm not going home with you. Like, I saw you had your arm around the girl. I was just being nice. It's like that here.
I
dude.
was
Fuck
listening
that.
to something recently, and it was good. It was in sales. It was like a sales class. But what a young man looks for is a pickup line, right? What the old man realizes is that there isn't one. Because there isn't like one pickup line that will pick a girl up.
I don't know. That birthday one's pretty good.
You have to, yeah. I mean, that's cool. You can get attention, but it's
like
not.
a
I said it to a
20%
girl.
it's
It's
not-
like 80.
Yeah, but what follows the first pickup line is the second, third, and fourth. Like you
Nope,
have to
I just
like
walk
you
away.
have- no, but
Bye.
it's about being able to have a conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah, it's like you can go spit any pickup line that you have. Any of them work. That's not going to seal the deal. You have to
Yeah.
have like the follow through of what comes next and what comes next and what comes next, and that
And then-
1000%.
that builds into a conversation. What also ultimately builds into is like a relationship, like
But
conversation.
you can always use a good icebreaker.
always, but don't be confused. Like the young guy thinks that like, oh, I gotta find the right verse or whatever,
Have you
the
heard the
right
t-shirt one?
line, and the
What's the
line
t-shirt?
will only get you so far.
You hear the t-shirt one?
No.
You walk up, you're like, hey, real quick, did you notice my new t-shirt? They're like, no, is it new? Yeah, I'd be like, feel it.
Boyfriend
Boyfriend
material.
material.
Oh, how about this one? Hey, how much does the polar bear weigh?
Enough to break the ice.
Hey, how
Hi.
you doing, Dwayne Jackson?
Yeah, Dwayne Jackson.
Wayne.
Or be like,
Right, that's second level though.
Hey.
the word of the day is cheeks. You want to help me spread them? Spread the word? Anyways, okay, let's get to when it goes to your Hydro Flask. So, like, what's your overall, what's your goal with that? Is that going to be like your ticket to, obviously I would hope so, but you're financially being free, or do you think you're going to let that spar off into other things? You're going to talk about
It's
the other
gonna
ideas?
spur off into other things because honestly, like just right now, we've been getting into meeting people more organically, putting
awesome.
the personality behind the brand, shaking hands, whether we sell bottles in person or not, because the online aspect of the brand is very lucrative. Like on average, since we've launched, I want to say 2 months ago, we average about 20 bottle sales a day.
That's awesome,
And
dude.
since I
Wow.
work at UPS and I ship UPS, I get all my shipments, I print the labels at home, I go to work about an hour and a half early, drop them off on
Dude,
the
that
belt,
is amazing.
go back to work.
That is amazing. I love that.
It's like that's not it, because the next step that I want to do is teach people, hold their hand from point A of, instead of using your own capital, using your own money,
Thank you.
using your own money, I want to teach people how about you get your credit in order, go get a business card, use that business card, use that money, that zero APR for a whole year.
Business credit
to
card?
Start your, bro, our business, we started our business with $0 out of our pocket.
That's so sick, dude.
$0 out of our pocket, no APR for a year. We paid off our card within 3 months after maxing it out and doing our whole business shit. Paid it off with the money that we made.
Wow.
And now everything is just nonstop profit.
Dude, that is so awesome.
But it's
That's
like,
so
I want to
awesome.
teach people, dude. Like,
I want to learn.
from
So
step
yeah.
one all the way to the end, meeting a manufacturer, finding your product, how to source it, how to find it.
That is so
how to use
weird.
Helium
All you
10.
need is an EIN number. Just
Dude.
go and create a LLC. Go
I-
to LegalZoom.
I've been watching.
Yeah, go to legal. I mean,
Don't spend the extra money on extra
you'll
shit,
pay
yeah.
bread. You'll pay bread. doing
I'm
it
okay
to
with
legal.
that. If it's gonna make me money, it's like this is all investment, right?
There's this is the interesting thing. Like listening to you, I think it's a great business model. You're like obviously have like a niche.
The
like
bottle's
that
sick
you're
as
like-
fuck,
The
too.
bottle is dope. It's like the whole idea is dope. It's cool. It's branding. It's something that's already
Yeah.
being used. I think what people can't forget is what is already there that is not being magnified to the extent that it could be. So like Yeti, perfect example. There's been igloo coolers going around for decades.
I know. Back when
Shit,
you were
they're
born
the-
in the 1800s.
Yeah, when we were like we used to go up to the glaciers and chip the ice.
Yeah,
off,
exactly.
Like the
Like,
fucking,
in your horse and wagon.
we were up there. Yeah,
Original polar bear
Yeah, me and my donkey Sam would go trek it up to the Himalayas and chip off blocks of ice and shit.
He's
But
not kidding.
You have
He's not.
something like that. So you had like an industry that was saturated with product that was the product, and then there was a disruptor that came in and then said, okay, we're going to go into luxury. Basically it's luxury containers
Yeah.
for beverages. We're going to charge you $300, $400, $500, $600 for the same shit that's been out here. people ate it up.
1,000%.
Same shit. It was a cooler.
Mm-hmm. Oh
It was
yeah.
the most luxury cooler
I
that you
have a
could buy.
Yeti ice chest.
Yeah, no, like I have one. I have two. Then I didn't buy either of them, but
He
I
has
have
a
two of them.
Fucking sick ass waterproof one, and the zipper is like you have to like really put effort in opening
I have
it.
the medium sized ones, like $400.
Yeah.
Bright ass color.
Mm.
Yep, same one.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but you'll only ever buy a chest once.
All
Yeah,
I'm saying is
true.
that there's industry, there's product out there. It's already like, man, it's so entrenched. Like there's so many of these things already existing. There's still room.
Yes.
There's still room for innovation. There's
1,000%.
still room to like reinvent that idea, even though it seems like what I look at, like even locally, Guantanio's, right? Like this is like a super like popular
Pizza place.
Fire.
I call
Pizza-
it Guantanamo Bay.
It's very good.
very good pizza
Never
place.
been.
They
It's
sell
at
cockney sandwiches there.
nothing but hype, since it opened, right? So
Extra meat.
it opens, it's like immediately successful.
Yeah.
Shocking, weird. Like there's been numerous restaurants that have been open, and none of them have probably like taken off like that. We're talking about a pizza place where you have Tony's, Little Caesars, Rick's,
Five Window right down the street.
There's like probably 20
Smack pie.
individualized.
Smack pie.
There's 20
Blaze.
individualized pizza places in
Chivaldi's.
the town. Dante's. There's like
Dienda.
whatever you want, but there's still space. There's still space for innovation.
1,000%.
Like people, there's like the product can dictate the market in times. Like it's not about like, well, what's available and what's in the market that's like available, and we need to find a niche that's not being tapped yet. It's that sometimes it's just having an idea that can revolutionize the space in and of itself. That like, hey, we're doing pizza, we're doing it differently. We're doing coolers, but we're going to do it some way that nobody's doing it.
Well-
we're going to go so far beyond what anybody's willing to do, and we're going to put a price tag on it that seems ludicrous, but it's so much superior to everything else in the market. It's going to still win.
Yeah.
And those people can still succeed. Even at a higher price point, it's not the bargain beater. It's not that it's cheaper than everything else in the market.
It's
the
relationship
the
we're
superiority, and it's the brand recognition. It's that it's Yeti. Once you have that Yeti sticker on it, it means something different. It's
Wait.
attached to like Apple.
That's
What
the,
is
like,
your-
that's the
it's
Louis
the-
Vuitton
it's-
for a working man.
Exactly.
What is your-
It's that.
What is your brand name?
Hydro Affirmations.
Okay.
HYDRO affirmations.com is where you can purchase them. But we combine the water and the speaking your desires into existence, and then understanding that mental health in the sports world is the biggest thing. And nobody sells package deal bottles.
I like that
Nobody
you do the
provides
steel
a steel
cap.
cap.
That's sick.
Nobody.
What do you mean nobody packages?
Well, like for you to get a plastic cap, a steel cap, and the bumper, and have a
All
bottle
separate.
with remotely more design than a quarter, that's gonna sell for less than 75. Because when I went to the competitors, I did an extra cap, standard bottle, bumper, $75 before taxes and shipping.
Fuck.
Mine is 61 after taxes, after shipping, same day shipping guaranteed every time.
Yeah,
on all
more for
orders.
less. Well,
Yes.
I guess not even more for less. It's more for
More-
just
more
the
value. I
easy-
think it's like
more
that's,
value.
that's another thing too. That's another thing to keep in point is that sometimes it's not about, especially on Amazon, on drop shipping type shit.
Amazon.
It's not about product. It's about ease of access.
Yeah.
Can I get all the shit that I actually want? This is a bundle deal.
Yes.
I want it all.
Yes, 1,000%. Because even touching on that, before we did the whole process of like patenting everything, getting an EIN, we started off doing FBA. And then the thing that we were doing was doing package deals on back to school.
No shit.
We made profit and stopped. So if you want to do it, do it. So what we did is when kids go to college,
awesome.
they're going away to dorms. You know what our package deals included?
Toilet
It included
paper,
a bathroom set. It included a washcloth. It included a full towel. It included a hairnet. It included a comforter set.
Dude,
Well, and
that's
here's the-
genius.
Here's the thing, though, too. I mean,
Fucking
I don't
genius.
know if it's already been tapped, but the next step is if you're a UCLA freshie coming in, you gotta get in that branding too. Get that insignia on your label or on your bottle.
Oh, like
So it's
whatever
not-
college you're going to, like get the rights and like permission
be
by
a-
them to put that shit on their shit.
Put it on your shit, or like put
like a spirit
know,
pack, kind of.
Yeah.
Put MOIV.
That's me.
on that or whatever. So you get like a little bit of, you get customization, but you have it
That's
customized to this school. I mean, what does everybody do when they get a bottle?
Sticker bomb it.
I had my
Yeah.
bottle. I had a bottle. I had a hydro flask for like 3 years. Homie never said anything about it. Threw a sticker on there. He's like, "Dude, dope bottle." I was like, dude, I was like, "Yo, I've literally had this like since you've known me." Never
once said anything.
Never recognized it. I threw an On It sticker on it with some crazy like
Yeah.
eyes.
I thought it was sick, dude.
He was like, "Dude, this thing's dope," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I've like had that."
No clue.
All it took was the sticker.
It was
The
a
sticker was
The
sick.
sticker's sick.
Stickers are dope. That's why
The sticker's sick, but he didn't even know.
No clue. Just another thing.
Yeah, I was like on the counter one day, and he was like, "This thing's dope." And I was like, "It's been sitting there."
And see, that's another field we're breaking into because I'm huge on anime. I can draw anything from start to scratch. So I wanted to incorporate art, but every art picture I draw, they're holding the bottle.
Hold on.
Whether it's Dragon Ball, no matter what, to interpret it, tweak the colors in the outfit to make them ours. So it's like, bro, is that Goku drinking from a hydro flask?
That's sick. Your
But
hydro
if it's
flask?
tweaked enough, it could be legally mine.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
Wait. So if I gave you like a picture that I wanted to be like vectorized into like cartoon looking.
Yes, he can.
I can do
Yes.
that. I can go to you,
Yeah, he did it for me.
dude.
I did it.
bro.
I did it of myself for my
'Cause
podcast.
I wanted to do that for this
Vectorized.
podcast of me, Andrew, and Braden doing some fucking funny shit, whatever. I don't know what yet, but and I
I
want
can
to put
do
it on a
Braden.
flag.
He got some chiseled ass features. He'll be easy.
I bet you could
both
do
you
Braden
Greek
better,
looking
bud.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
See, this is the one
I
I,
wanna
did of
see.
me.
You know what that mean? I'm trying to think of what that reminded me of.
This is the one I did for myself.
Dude, that's sick, dude.
Show
And I can
mine,
easily
show
do
mine,
that.
It
dude.
reminds me of something though. I'm trying to remember what that is. I like it,
Bro.
I like it. I like it.
I can do you guys
No,
headphones
it's
looking
yeah.
dope.
This is badass. All right, I want to get to your podcast. Okay, what do you wait? Do you have yours?
My picture? Oh, I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah, I did. It was your birthday last year, and my boy's hella big into Naruto, so I did him as
He's hella big. Pause.
actually he's more than I can handle.
Oh,
Resume.
Fuck up, dude.
Resume.
What's
Unpause.
Naruto?
Naruto?
What'd you say?
Don't say that in
man.
front of him.
Man. Okay, so check it out.
It's a
Brandon.
religion.
So Naruto.
Oh damn! He said the T in there. I'm fucked.
It's
I'm
so
fucked.
it's
I'm
so
fucked.
fucking dope. It's about this kid who he has like this spirit put inside
This
of
is
him.
the scene right here.
Oh wait, hold up.
Car scene.
Batman's on. Sorry, y'all. The new
Oh,
Batman.
shit.
So.
The Batman scene. Oh, he's
The
going
only
nuts.
Batman.
The
The
only
only
Batman.
Batman.
He's going nuts.
The
There's-
light's in my way.
Okay, after this, like when Penguin hit the car and everything fucking destroyed, I'm like, okay, stop, knock it off.
It was all.
There's no way that could have happened.
No, yeah, she's Batman.
No, I'm talking
All right.
about Penguin and his
I'm
motherfucking.
gonna try to
Auntie.
say it. I want to hear
Oh,
about.
I see
yeah,
what
I
you
want to
meant.
hear about Naruto.
Oh, there
yeah,
you
yeah.
go. That's
He's a
better.
boy.
So yeah, he's a boy. But you grow. So I've
He's a
been
boy.
watching this show since I think it came out in 1999, something like that. So
How old are you? Fuck.
27.
Yeah, you think I'm old? This guy's talking about 90.
so like it's a anime that you've grown up with, and so he's
I
gotten
have.
older, and that we have. You know, I've watched this shit growing up,
Let me
and
give me shit.
it's such a great show, and it's like
Let me see a
crazy in
picture. Let
Japan.
me see something. Give me
Okay.
some context. I
Okay.
need something.
Yeah, you need something for this. Okay.
The
let's see.
storyline, the character development, like every
this
character
guy's
in
sold,
Naruto,
Yeah.
you see them grow up or die, grow
die.
up
Yeah,
and get
characters die,
married,
too.
grow
So,
up and become legends. Like
Is
all kinds of
it
stuff.
Sorry, guys,
Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, or
Yeah.
is it?
It depends. It depends who you ask and what they watch.
Oversaturated anime, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z is on one pillar.
Oh, okay.
I was at-
Yeah,
I was
they're
at
the
Brixton-
same. They're one and the same.
I was at Bricks and Hops the other day, and when you came in last
Yeah.
night, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, this wasn't last night. This was on Tuesday night, though.
Can I get a beer?
Oh,
Yeah. Can I get a beer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The chick, she was. She's actually. I don't know if you know Scott Bratton. Scott Bratton's. He was
No.
our high school cop.
Is his daughter Krista Bratton, and his other daughter's Haley Bratton?
I think it was Haley that was in there.
Yeah, I know her. Then.
So Haley, I think it was Haley. She's the youngest, looking, and she was.
but Lizzie? Nice.
She was drawing anime.
Yeah, that's her. She has a whole Instagram account. She does commissions and everything. It's
Honestly,
pretty sick.
super legit.
She's really good.
I've not a somebody that'll be like, oh yeah, you know, her shit's legit. If
She
it's
drives
not,
some fucking sexy women. I'm like, yeah.
no, yeah, it was from what
It's
I saw.
that hentai shit.
No,
yeah,
it's
from what
not-
I
it's not
saw-
that.
From what
There's
I
no
saw,
nudity.
it was all women,
Well,
and she did good job with it. But yeah,
She's
it's,
really
it's,
good.
it's crazy how there's, you know, like I'm not in the anime scene, but there's people that are, and there's a whole like art form behind like how
Yeah.
legit they can be, and she was super legit.
yeah, and
So-
it's one of the fastest growing forms of entertainment. Like it just totally took the world by surprise. Because like, I mean, even when we were in school, like, you know, when you thought of anime, it wasn't really a positive connotation. It was
No.
kind of a
Yeah,
negative.
you got
It
shit
was
talked to you.
I really didn't care. I would tell everybody like, bro, I love this shit. This shit's tight as fuck. I'll tell you all the shows. I have a list I've been growing for like maybe 10 to 15 years. I've been actively keeping track of what I've watched. What I have it scaled 1 to 10, what genre it is.
Alphabetized.
I've
like
never-
everything.
I've never
So
seen
many people that
anime.
you wouldn't even
Never. Me
imagine.
either.
So many people
What?
you wouldn't imagine would be like, hey, dude, like, can I get that list? And I'm like,
What?
You watch
So
Do
anime?
you know how
Sell
many
it, dude.
conversations
Fucking
that
sell it.
starts, dude?
Yeah.
Like people will be like,
Never
"Bro,
once
you
with
don't
me.
even look like
Never-
the type of
never
guy that
seen-
watch
never
anime."
seen
I'm
one.
like, "What does that mean?"
Do I look like I would watch anime or
Yeah,
not
you
watch
look
anime?
like you look like a Dragon Ball Z guy. Because a
thank
lot
you.
of people
Which
that are
actually
crazy Jack.
Like a female character?
No, like a guy.
No, but
character.
Dragon Ball Z I actually do kind of fuck with because I know like some premise of it, right?
yeah,
I don't.
So I don't know shit about any anime, but Dragon Ball Z, from what I know, I could be completely wrong. I'm gonna
You
say
are.
something, and you're gonna be like, you don't know shit. But it's like the character, if the main characters themselves, they can like hyper transform basically,
Go
where
Super
they
Saiyan.
they become like so big in the space that they're like gods wielding, like they can like chuck planets and
Yes,
shit
yeah.
into each other.
That's
So
exactly what
they
it
can
is.
like they can be like on Earth or whatever, if you want to think of it in the scale of that, and they can be like, I'm fucking pissed. And
Yeah.
they'll blow up and
The
be
whole
like,
planet.
give me this Mars, and they'll be like
Yeah.
fucking humming like Mars out
Yeah.
like another, like they can explode in
Yes.
size, which is like
I have a
I'm like-
question for Dwayne.
I'm like, okay, this is a crazy because I don't fuck with anime, but the premise of that is kind of dope.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah,
Okay, but
it's kinda
see,
sick.
the simple fact that you fuck with Dragon Ball,
And I
there's
don't-
so
I've never
many
seen an
animes.
episode.
There's so many.
Never seen an episode, but I'm just like, I like it. I get it.
It's a lot in gym culture too. Like if you know you're at the gym, like probably over half the guys that are in there.
yeah, but
they-
those guys aren't putting up weight. Let's be real.
No, hey, straight up, I saw some guy in a Pokemon onesie like deadlift like 500 pounds, dude. No bullshit.
Hey, okay,
For
what does he
reps.
bench press? Let's be real. Can he
Dude.
do a pull up?
No.
You were talking about your
Yeah.
deadlift earlier.
Yeah, how much were you deadlifting earlier, guy? I saw like multiple weights, and you brought in the metal weights.
For
Why
something
didn't you just
without a-
throw on keep
For
keep
something
doing
like
the
that.
For 440, 440 raw.
440 raw.
Raw.
No belt, no knee wraps, no straps,
no
nothing.
Pikachu suit. If you had,
No
you would have been
Pikachu
doing
suit.
5.
No fucking.
That's a great idea. You should wear a
God
Pikachu suit
damn.
and then
He's about the size of Pikachu.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
the same size. I'm pocket
You like
size.
a Charmander.
Thank you. That was my favorite, actually.
Charmander.
Swear. That's so funny.
Now we're getting
Said
Pokemon.
nobody ever.
Wait, question.
yeah,
Wayne.
Squirtle guy.
Charmander's badass, and I'm talking Charmander before he goes into the dragon. I'm
Okay.
talking
Charizard,
little
dude.
bald
Yeah,
Charmander.
Charizard. Get
oh
cultured,
yeah.
guy.
Sorry.
Get fully woke,
Okay, wait.
dude.
Get woke.
You gonna wake up and be Charizard one day?
Listen, Mark, kiss me, and Dwayne, kiss me. Goku, full strongest.
Okay.
Whatever the fuck he reaches.
Ultra
you know.
instinct right now. I think.
Okay.
Super Saiyan
As of
God
today.
is like
Okay.
As of right this second.
Superman.
Goku.
Ooh,
Okay,
no.
Dwayne, why?
Why?
Whoa.
Why?
Let's
Because-
talk about this.
Okay.
Because Goku has every single time gone up against an opponent he could not beat, come back 3 times stronger and shitted on him like he never
Shitted.
lost
Okay.
a fight. And
Shitted.
he's done that after every time.
I got
And
you.
there's no way Superman
Respect.
compares to
Respect.
Lord Beerus, and he was going toes with Beerus.
Okay, but Goku also died from a heart disease.
But he came back.
But that technically is dead, so he lost.
He did. He
He's-
died from heart disease.
That's not even.
That's,
You
from
can't
the,
even see
that's
that.
from the inside out.
He
As
died-
far
He
as-
has internal.
I'm just gonna say this.
He has
That
internal problems. He has
dying from heart disease ain't even some Asian shit.
What?
Like that's not even Asian shit.
Asian shit?
Yeah, like
No.
he should have gone out like guns
Like what
glory,
Asian? What Asian dude do you know that died of heart disease?
I don't think Goku's Asian.
No,
That's
it's
what?
got to be like
Japanese.
born
Yeah.
of Asian descent. Like it's a
Oh,
Japanese
for sure.
character.
He's
Who do you know
technically
that's
blonde.
Asian? Who do you know that's Japanese that died of heart disease?
They do live the longest, even
Yeah.
with their diets.
They're eating fish. They're gonna die of mercury
So
poisoning
listen,
before they
none
die
of his
of
friends.
heart disease.
So no one's ever died of heart disease ever in his whole culture, and then all of a sudden he's the one to get it.
Well, it's in
But
technically
see,
not-
that's why it had
Got
to be
him.
his only weakness. Superman, kryptonite. He's very emotional. You do anything to Lois, he'll do whatever you tell him
That's
to do.
true. He's got a weakness.
Goku,
Wow.
No weakness. weakness? He doesn't have a love interest?
He does. Chi-Chi.
It's kind of boring
Hold
if he
on.
doesn't.
Wait. Have you heard of
Chi-Chi.
Hold on. Have you heard of Superman 1 million?
Yeah,
He's
see,
gold.
Superman Prime. Yeah, Superman 1 million.
He goes and like sits in the sun for like 45,000 years or some bullshit.
He's
like
not
crazy.
That's where he
universal,
gets his
though.
power from, though.
Yeah, no, that's why he sat in the sun and
He
became.
can sit on our son. He can't sit on his
He
son.
can sit on my son.
What the fuck are you guys
What
talking
kind of
about?
father are you?
Talking about a star, guy.
Hey,
Get your mind out of the gutter.
It sounds sexual. It sounds
Dad,
sexual.
what's going on?
The guy
it's
from-
Clark Kent, son. Let it happen.
The guy from wakeboarding
That's
is like,
cool.
crop top, son. The wakeboard guy.
He wouldn't want to see you in a crop. He was
Shut
loving
the
them
fuck
numbers.
up.
You can
Wait.
sit on. You can sit on his
19.
son.
Dude.
What year were you born?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you're so
dude.
young.
We're gonna change the topic. You say Superman. You say Goku.
Okay, One
But
Punch Man was
One
smack both
Punch
of them.
Man, he's killing both.
He's
Why do you say Superman though? Because we got Goku.
Okay.
I actually get your stance on Goku. I actually respect.
Okay.
You said no Goku because you gave a defensive reason, which was basically he died of like humanistic
Like, yeah, he
death.
died a super
Is that
weird
your
death.
only? Is that your only like reason?
No, I think also too because in multiple fights, Goku
Wait,
he likes a
what?
challenge. He likes a challenge, so he'll give his opponents a senzu bean, which basically restores people to full health, just so that he
he's
can
like, I
fight them
want
on
to fight
toes.
you on like,
On
toes,
which is
like,
respect
But
though.
his
Respect.
power has
Which is
no
like-
limit.
Yeah, but
Respect.
he's also like, I want to fight you on your best.
Yes.
That's true.
But
Yes.
why don't you like
So
that?
Superman's
Why-
best.
What don't I like about Goku?
No, but he's saying that was a Goku trait. So why is Superman more superior than being like, I'm gonna fight you on your best day?
Just because I feel like
I don't know.
Superman,
I have no dog.
I think he fights stronger people, and
Okay.
and I mean I'm
Who?
going
Doomsday beat his ass and
That's
killed
true.
him.
Yeah, true.
as for plot only.
Every person that Goku has gone against, he came
Who
back.
has Superman fought that you feel like is a more worthy adversary?
Then Doomsday.
Seriously.
I don't give a
Nobody.
fuck.
Darkseid.
Yeah, probably Darkseid. I think is probably like the strongest.
Smacked him. Killed him. He didn't kill Darkseid. Not
But
in
that's for
any
the plot.
timeline.
That like
That's just for plot
in my
only.
timeline.
Not
Superman
even
won.
in the comics. That like Superman,
No, he
his
is
death, he
right,
died
yeah.
because of Darkseid.
Yeah.
He's never beat him.
But then he comes
Every-
back as anti-Superman, the gray fucking zombie dude, or he's gray with the black
But
suit.
he ended up getting smacked by regular Superman. It's not like Anti
Oh,
was
shit.
any stronger.
Yeah.
He's literally the equivalent to when Luke Cage came back to life. It's like, oh,
Okay,
you're
you
back.
don't- listen,
man.
you don't have to yell at us. Fuck, dude.
Hey
Jeez.
man, you're asking questions.
Hey,
I'm
buddy.
answering them.
All right, let's get to this. Let's get to
Alright,
the
we
real
got
juicy
juicy.
shit. Let's
We
get
got
to
juicy
let's,
shit.
let's get
Hey,
to
I
the
still have
fucking
respect for why
thymine.
you said Superman. I
Hey,
don't know why
Listen,
we got there.
I'll
but
tell you what. You guys, Flash takes them all, but that's a whole other conversation. Flash beats everybody.
Yeah,
He,
he
cut
can
his
run.
legs off. He has no power.
Listen,
Yeah,
This
but
guy's
he
got
can
man-
he can
a
walk.
man
He can
crush.
run through alternate
he
universes.
regenerates.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Deadpool. Alternate universes, and guess what? You gotta
You
wait.
cut off his legs.
You
He's
aren't
no power.
you aren't fast enough to cut his legs off.
He'll literally walk through the blade. He'll
Yeah,
vibrate.
he'll
through
vibrate
it.
through
Batman
it.
literally has a contingency for the entire Justice League,
Not-
and
not
when
Flash,
he
though.
yes, Flash.
What is it?
He literally broke his legs.
No, he's not. But that's for plot.
Plot.
He's literally not fast enough.
Actually, I fuck with this because I'm tired of hearing this.
Bro,
Fucker
Listen,
broke his legs.
They broke. No, but you can't. Listen. He'll feel grip touch his skin. His nervous system will say, "Someone's touched me." He'll get out of it.
okay, I
Think
get
about it.
that, but how many times has Flash been in fucked up situations he could not get himself out?
But that's
All
not
of
the
them.
So
real
many
Flash.
times.
That's not his full potential.
All of them.
Full
Yeah.
potential. He'll go back in time and punch Goku in the face when he's a baby.
Oh,
and
you
kill him.
mean Grandpa
Wait,
Flash who
Flash
moves
is a
so
baby hitter?
fast he starts aging because he's past the speed of light, so now he rapidly ages? Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's a
man.
badass.
But then he'll go back in time and then not have to let that happen.
Bro, I'm a
time
big
travels.
Flash nerd. No matter what timeline he's on, he's dying from
I gotta
his
show you a
speed.
video after this.
I'm gonna get this guy on speed dial every time you bring up this Flash shit. I'm gonna be like,
Dude.
yo,
I'll show you a
Dwayne,
video.
Dwayne,
that
shut
might-
this fool
hold on.
down.
Listen,
Dude,
Dwayne, I'll show you a video that might change your idea on your perspective on Flash.
You ain't
Okay,
a
wait.
nerd.
every
You ain't a
movie,
nerd. I know a
every
nerd.
comic,
No, no,
bro.
it's
I know
someone
a
who
nerd
breaks
when I
his
see a
speed
nerd.
down.
This is a nerd. You're not one.
I'm not a nerd. No, but
Yeah, no,
he
this
breaks his
one
speed
isn't.
down. Okay, listen, we're gonna get off this, okay?
All right,
'cause-
all right, all right.
listen,
Okay.
I'll show you a video.
Flash
All
is
right.
toast. I'm just gonna say it for
No,
the
Flash
record.
is
You
not
just
One
gotta
toast.
shut
Punch
it down.
Man is the best.
So how about that firmament?
Flush him down.
Well, I was gonna say, okay, so what is the craziest conspiracy theory you've talked about on your?
Well, what? Or actually, can we broaden that?
No,
Mind?
Nope, we
I
can't.
don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about what's been talked about already.
Oh.
Just the craziest.
What's the
conspiracy.
craziest
Oh.
conspiracy that you have interest in?
Oh.
That maybe has or has not been brought up on your
A
podcast.
lot of them.
So I don't care if it's been. You don't limit yourself to has it been brought up before, but do you have interest in it?
Yeah, 1,000%. We are the only planet in our solar system with life on it and within it. And there's no way.
Within it? What do you mean within it?
Hollow Earth, Agartha. There's
Yeah.
been plenty of numerous journals that prove
Yeah.
that place exists. And there's nobody who can tell you that we're not inside of a giant ice ring. You know why?
Thank you.
Because you can't fly over Antarctica.
Not legally.
It's 360 degrees. You can't fly over it. You can't sail over it. Satellites won't even show what's fucking there.
They won't.
And anytime you go there, you stop and you turn the fuck around.
Yep.
Why is that? And in any direction you go, you'll get to ice. If there's a North and a South Pole, how come any direction I go in, I'm going to ice?
Wait,
So are you saying Earth is flat?
So if you go east-west, isn't there just supposed to be like water and continent, water, continent? If you just keep going east-west, stay westward the entire way once you circumnavigate.
No, because anytime you're on a flight plan, the continents since there's
I love
more
this.
continents outside of our wall. But when you're in it, bro, think about everything as being linear. If nothing's circular and we're all linear, you can go from point A to point B by only going back and forth. All airplane flight plans only show you horizontal flight plans. If the world was round, they would show vertical flight plans to get you from America to China faster. They want your ass going 14 miles. Why? If the earth is round, we can jump, right? You can't. All flight plans are horizontal. They only go left and right.
Whore with a W.
I
Horizontal.
want to follow you because I'm not in.
Brain's not a flat earther. Not even a 0.5%.
But I'm down. I'm down to have the conversation.
Well, hey, I want to hear.
But I'm down.
I'm not saying I'm a flat earther. I'm just saying that there's more evidence that shows that the earth could more possible. I'm not saying it's flat. I'm just saying that there's a lot more than
To the
what's
earth.
being presented.
Well,
Yes.
all I'm saying is I want to understand, right? So, let's say I have flown to China. I also,
Your arms must have been tired when you got there.
what's that?
Your arms must have been tired when you got there.
Flopping, flap my ass off.
My dad makes that joke every time.
So you fly to China. You fly anywhere. So if you look at the quote unquote map, which is also like, let's just take this in perspective, which is actually it's a benefit to your argument, right? So like if you look at like the geography of the map as we know it today is in the U.S.
Is the
it's-
map flat?
Don't start.
Does it lay on your table?
But the map, it's not about whether it's flat or not. It's whether or not it's actually accurate, which it's not.
It's not.
And it's like known not. If you have any sort of like it's not accurate. Like
Not
the
at
map,
all.
the map is not
the
accurate.
size of the continents, none of that.
Everything's distorted. Like the size of America, South America, Africa, they're all off. But if you're saying, okay, so if you flew a plane from San Francisco to China
So that's going
and
east.
you flew, it's going east.
No,
So you flew east.
Where's China?
China's
Behind us.
That's not an accurate way to
Next
think
to
about
us.
it at all. That's like one dimensional thought.
straight down the ground on the other side.
If you fly due east and you land
Under.
in China, if you could fly due east again and reach San Francisco again, then you would say that the world is round.
Because you could circumnavigate it, right?
Right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm just-
that's what I was
Circum.
thinking.
I'm just asking you, okay,
Please.
because you're basically saying like your logic of what you just said is like if you laid a map out and you had the flight plans, they basically do this back and forth across a flat map, right? But all I'm asking is that if you could put it on a sphere, if the world was perhaps round, and you could fly from San Francisco to China, and then due east fly from China to the same side of San Francisco without crossing the United States, that would be enough evidence that the world is round.
That would be, but the flight plan wouldn't even do that.
Right. So what we would need to figure out if is anybody flown from China due east and landed in the United States from that flight trajectory, and that would be proof enough that the world is round.
That would be, but then there's so many technicalities on when you can fly, when you can't fly, and it can easily be a situation where how many pilots have actually tried to fly to Antarctica and they got so many rules. Some of them have.
Well, let's take Antarctica off the map. Let's just say due east. If you were looking at the map and you look at China, so basically China sits here. It's like Africa, China, England, Russia, and Russia kind of expands. And if you think about a circular globe, Russia kind of expands around that. It's almost touching Alaska. Like if you look at it, like
right
up in
next
there's points of Alaska you can see Russia.
It's right there. I've looked at it. Like I've stood in Alaska and looked.
This motherfucker goes everywhere. I swear. Seriously, he actually does.
At Russia, and I'm still.
Can you take me?
I'm just saying. But if you were able to fly due east out of, let's say, San Francisco and fly
Marcus
to China or to Russia, something that's eastbourne on a flat map,
thank you.
and hit that, and then circumnavigate the globe if it does exist, and fly due east. Sorry,
until you come back
until
around.
you were to land in San Francisco. If the San Francisco was the origin, you could fly nothing but due east and reach San Francisco by hitting China and sitting in Beijing, and then flying from Beijing around whatever it could be, and land back in San Francisco by
That would
only
be
taking
enough proof.
by only taking an eastern trajectory. That would be enough proof around Earth.
Yeah, but
Right, and I don't know if that does exist. I'm just saying, like, if it was to have happened, that would be enough for a
that
circular
would show
circular
that if you
Earth.
fly straight in this direction
You
and
will
you
come
touch
back.
the other side, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I go from tip
I don't know if it's
and
happened.
touch my elbow, that's 360.
Right.
But
I'm just using like basic logic.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're like and I'm asking subjectively because it's like, okay, how would one prove that the world was round if
have
you
to
were
do it
to try
yourself.
to prove it? You don't. But you have to you have to have proof that a flight pattern has occurred that went due east.
Yeah.
And that due east flight pattern reached a most eastern continent, and that they continued on due east, and that they actually arrived back on a western continent like the United States, and that would in and of itself like
That would be logical.
confirm the idea
That
that
would
the
be
world
logical.
is spherical in and of itself.
So, are you getting at? What are you getting at?
I'm getting at that if you flew from China, if you were to fly from Beijing
Yeah.
due east and you landed in San Francisco, then it's constitutional, like in logic, that the world is round. So if flight patterns leave Beijing and they go on an eastern trajectory and they land in San Francisco, which it's a hub of Asian culture. So I don't know if the Chinese fly across the United States, or they fly across the Atlantic, across the entire country, and they land in San Francisco by a western trajectory, that they land in San Francisco, that would say that, well, that's evidence that the world is flat because they're flying westbound. But if their trajectory, which would make sense if they flew east, that they went around the world, circumnavigated the globe, even though if you look at the map, it's actually already circumnavigated because you're honestly on the other side of the world if you're looking at it trajectorily, like from where the United States, like dig a hold of China. Why? Well, because China is on the other side of the world. But from the shortest distance, you wouldn't fly west to get to San Francisco. You would fly east from China to get to the United States, to land in San Francisco. Then if you flew east from, I guess in that case, if you were on the East Coast, you would fly west from China, you would land in the United States.
But have you seen the true map that the United Nations based its flag off of? It's not like, to keep going on what you're saying, instead of thinking about it as something flat like this, they're trying to say that instead of us being linear, we're actually like, imagine a clock and all of our continents
what?
fitting inside of that clock.
Not
There's
clock.
an L in there, Marky.
Like
Dang it.
a
Stop
flat
thinking about clocks.
clock.
Sorry.
Like a flat clock. And then everything's like everything's in the center. And it's like, this map was created after General Admiral Larry Byrd, the man who discovered the earth was hollow during President Nixon's presidency. The guy has an award. If that never happened, why does he have an award? Why does his maps based off the UN's maps? And it shows
Why was Trump president? Why was Biden
I fucking voted for him.
Why was
Yeah, buddy.
why but in the same respect, why is Biden the president?
Cheating.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Well,
They
no.
even
But
proved
all I'm
But
saying is that
besides
all I'm saying is that notoriety doesn't mean anything.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So to say that he has an award behind his name, therefore he's validated, and
Yeah,
his
true.
notoriety doesn't really hold up based off of like the modern day. And there was probably corruption occurring even back then, if you want to
Wait.
believe that the corruption occurred in the election, or that one guy's an asshat and one guy's actually like justified. It's just like it's politics.
I see what you're getting at. It could
it's
be
just
corrupt.
Like, it's
either
like who
way.
the fuck knows? Like just
Yeah,
because
but
somebody's
that's what I always get at. It's like I'm very optimistic, but it's like all we know is what we're told.
But I see what you're saying too. So if you look at the spreading of like, if you believe in like a tectonic plate movement, Pangea, right? Like, so we were like at one point, like somehow there was a mass, and then it eventually started to spread apart. That makes sense. That like
Weird.
the actual spreading of the world, like if you looked at it as one mass, if there was a spherical planet, and there was a singular mass of continent that was on it, and it eventually started to break apart, you probably wouldn't think that it would spread to a point where it was like this.
No,
Maybe it could go something like this.
But think about
so
it
if
like
you were
a
looking at
pizza.
it from a shot, it would be, you could view the entire continental landmass in a two-dimensional bisect of the planet. If you chop it in half, there'd be nothing but ocean on the back side. On the front side, there would be nothing but continent. So I understand what you're saying. Is like if it did spread apart, it could be like this, where really if you got on the back side of the Earth, it was nothing but oceanic like mass. I get that. But once again, is the world flat because of that, or is it still
No, it's
potentially spherical? It could still be hollow. It could still be hollow, and it could be
1,000%.
round.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to
I'm
hear.
just saying, like, could it be spherical
But
nonetheless?
it's like, what proof do we have? This besides the fact that NASA, the biggest film company on the planet with the highest budget, shows us glimpses of only half.
Well,
Wait.
let's say, okay, let's ask this question because I'm just curious. With nothing but your own ability to purchase a telescope, could you go out and look at masses in the sky of other planets and the moon and what have you? And they appear to be spherical in nature, or at least circular in nature. Does that mean everything
No.
in
No.
the space like
I have a question.
is
I have an
disc-like?
answer.
No, because not every planet in our solar system is habitable on the surface. A lot of planets can easily be only inside. Mars shows that they've had life one
But I'm
time.
just asking, does the ability to look, does the ability, like, if I was to look at this light,
I have an answer.
He knows. 'cause
if I was to look at this light, like where I'm sitting, and I could see the shape of it, is it spherical?
No, I have an answer.
from this
Marky,
angle,
go
that
ahead
is
and
a
go,
spherical. That is a
Marcus, can I
spherical
go?
light.
Yes,
But is
Mark,
it,
you
is
can
it
go.
spherical?
Wait, Brayden, I have an answer for you.
Not from this angle. If I was to lay flat and look at this light, that is a round 360.
Yeah,
that's a round light.
it's not spherical.
No,
No, it's flat.
easy. Like
Right,
especially
so-
from that distance.
Right. So that means that every point of, I think last I looked, galaxies are in the high millions that they can see in the
That
circumference
they say they can see.
in the circumference of the moon.
That's what they're telling you.
So,
Right.
Brayden,
So everything's a conspiracy there.
I'm a super logical thinker like yourself, right? I look up in the sky and I see stars and I say, hey,
Wait.
there's light that's coming to us from afar. It's taking millions of light
Yeah,
years.
that makes sense.
It takes light years for us
Right.
to see it. You know what I mean? So that's how I think.
That makes sense.
They have a different perspective. They
Wait.
think that.
These
Go
guys
ahead,
have
I'll let you
had
explain it.
centuries to come up with an explanation for everything.
An explanation. Okay, so if you're on a pool table, and you were sitting down, your first person POVs. You're looking out and you see pool balls, right? You're like,
Okay,
fuck, like,
POV balls. I
yeah.
like it.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So
Cute.
and then you look at the
Yeah.
clock over there on the wall. No L, just hanging. Suction cup. No. So you're on a pool table, right? And you're looking out and you see all these balls. Yeah, they're different colors, right? They look different, but they're all round, or you can kind of see different angles. Like, oh yeah, they're all spherical. I must be spherical. Like I'm looking at this plane. I'm looking out into the vastness. I see these spherical objects. Therefore, I must be spherical. But then you go third person. You're actually a plate. You're actually a dinner plate sitting on the table, but you have no concept of what you look like. You're just basing the fact that what those things look like, you must also be spherical
go
too.
back to what
So
you
just
said.
because we can just go out there and be like, well, those planets are round, and then the solar,
must be
there's
round.
galaxies and stuff, like doesn't necessarily mean that we're round.
We can easily be the only planet in our solar
That
system.
doesn't make any
with life on.
sense.
What? How does that not make any sense?
Because you're saying you're a plate and you're a 3-dimensional object.
But I'm saying no. Your POV is your first person from the front of the plate. You see a bunch of round balls, so you're just assuming because you're looking out into the vastness that you see spherical objects that you yourself must be spherical. But then if someone were to show you a third person point of view of the table, you see all these round objects, and you see here where you are, and you're a flat plate or you're a cube or whatever.
Okay.
Just because you're looking out and you see spheres doesn't mean you are a sphere.
Do you see this mic stand?
I'm talking from the point of view of where we are on Earth. Like, just because we look at planets and see that they're round doesn't mean we're necessarily round.
Yeah.
There's potential that we're flat, and we're the only flat thing.
So you're saying that you're not 3-dimensional.
No, I'm not saying 3-dimensional. I'm saying flat like we're on a plate. Like we're on a flat Earth, if you were to believe that.
Like it's easy, like how you said, oh, I look up into the stars and I see all those planets and they're all round. It's like, okay, well, just because the planets that I'm looking at are round
doesn't mean you're
doesn't
round.
necessarily mean I'm round.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll buy it. Okay, so when a
I want you to take the whole rod, Braden.
when a like solar eclipse occurs,
Mm-hmm.
you're
It's
saying that
manufactured by NASA.
right? That's the non-scientific maneuver that you're saying, right?
But it's not fully out of the question.
It's out of the question if you're saying that nature is more superior than NASA.
They're telling you that nature's doing that. What if NASA's doing it the whole
Nature
entire
is
time?
1,000% more superior than NASA.
That's
NASA's just
That's the point.
But what if
nature is more superior than NASA, and you had people that were literally using instruments that were so rudimentary to diagram the cosmos, like at a time when it was unfathomable, like even in modern times, to hypothesize that the sun was the center of the galaxy and not the world, but they were accurate if you base it off of modern science, and that they were doing it at that time. It predates NASA, and yet you had people like Galileo that were accurate to
it's all fabricated. They didn't, it didn't actually happen.
you're talking about pre-NASA, so it's not even like the conspiracy of the United States and like any.
How do you know it's pre-NASA?
Because NASA wasn't around in the 1400s.
Okay, so what are you looking at documentation from the 1400s?
When NASA was established.
No. Are you looking at Galileo's documentation from the 1400s? That's where you're basing your.
Doesn't he have journals that?
But who's to say
Who's
that's
to say
not
NASA
redacted?
didn't get to it?
Most
Who's to say-
religions are based off of redacted Bibles that have pages and things
Torn out,
pulled
yeah.
out.
I'm just saying that you're basically saying that like this is a conspiracy conspired by NASA, which was
They cover
literally like
everything.
1970s, which was like 500 years later.
But who's to
than
say those numbers are accurate? Like, how would
it's,
you?
It's not numbers. It's like it's math. They were basically proving things about the galaxy like in a time period that was so far before even a conspiratorial like
Okay, wait.
adjunct like NASA existed, that you're saying that
No.
those two things were in cooperation and they somehow like
What am I-
birthed this baby.
Wait,
that
real quick, let me stop you,
became
because what I'm getting
this,
at.
like
Hold on.
future
You're basing
conspiracy.
this. You're basing this off of. You're saying the math is adding up what they did back in the 1400s. Who's to say that what they did in the 1400s was actually proving that the Earth was flat or this all a lie? And NASA got to it, fabricated the math, and said, "This is the equation we're going to use. This is the equation we're going to produce to make it look like it was potentially done in the 1400s." But we're going to have this equation tweaked enough to where it points to actually a round Earth or a non-hollow Earth.
Sounds kind of liberal to me.
Yeah, it's
How's
not-
that liberal?
Here's what the thing
'Cause
is.
it's a
like,
lot of what ifs.
what you
yeah,
what ifs.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
you can do what ifs
what you
all
have
day.
to what you're not taking into account is the
But it's not-
the time frame in which
They could all be lying to
no,
us.
but it's
they
the
could
ti-
have
it's-
scrapped
it's
everything.
It's the time.
Dude.
It's the time.
1000%.
It's the time frame in which the original like.
You don't know when the real time frame
But
was.
what
They covered
makes
that up.
You do.
You don't.
You do.
NASA could have burned all the files that pointed to wrong shit. And they said, no, this is a lie. This is the lie.
The proposition occurred so far in the past.
You don't know that, though. That's what they're saying and when it occurred.
But you have it corroborated by multiple nations. Like
Yeah.
like
Everyone's got a
these-
price.
So
these
what?
peop-
The
these
literally
people,
They did
these
it.
people were like, what
United Nations.
What was the conspiratorial like adhesive that glued someplace like Russia and the United States together to say that like, oh, this makes sense. Like we're gonna both bankrupt each other during the World War so that we can both be wrong. Like you have two
everything.
You have two opposing bodies. Like one of
Why? Because they say that publicly. That could easily be not.
We're both in the space race, and let's mind this: the space race was so far further in time than actually like,
and it never happened.
Well, okay, well, let's say that was real. What are they basing the space race off of?
Means to keep our attention. There's always something to grab your attention. If it's not the end of the world,
these people,
if it's not a mass shooting,
these people at the time that they were
championship
these people
warriors.
at the time that they were proposing that the world was not flat were basically like martyrs against the church, which basically ran the entire country. These were like the founding fathers saying that we don't have to be a part of England anymore. Like this was like hangable treason at the time. Like this was like you going against the church. It wasn't like conspiratorial, like, oh, we're going to come up with this good idea where we can like make up a new idea and then we're become popular. They were like, this is like factual evidence based off of
You don't believe in facts. We had a whole conversation about that.
I'm saying right now that based off of,
He doesn't believe in facts.
based off of what they believe to be true.
It's all hearsay.
But why? Like exactly how you're saying everything. It's like
I'm just saying, why would you do that if you had the potential to be killed for it?
Because people that are crazy will do a lot of crazy shit. Look what's happening right now. They're lying about Dr. Fauci.
You're banking this 100% on the fact that you 100% believe that flat Earth cannot be
I
proven
don't
wrong.
100% believe in anything. I'm just saying we're being
That
lied
flat
to
Earth-
by
flat
everybody.
Earth
I'm
can't be
just
proven
saying
wrong.
that
We're all being lied to.
That's what you believe.
Until I see it, I won't believe round or flat.
How can
We're
okay,
on
let
Earth.
me ask this. If you're a flat object and you shine a light on you from one direction,
I'm not flat. The Earth is.
why aren't you?
Because I can have a flat plate, or okay, this table's flat. How come my beer can's not flat?
Exactly.
Well, it depends where you're looking at it from.
Exactly.
No, I can tell it's
If I
curving.
look at my beer can above top, it
well,
could be
why
flat.
isn't it flat?
Because it's a beer can.
Exactly. Why isn't it flat though? It's flat.
No, it's
Your
round.
beer can's flat.
Okay, it's flat.
It's obviously flat.
Yeah.
So you can't like.
But that's not
doesn't make any
really
sense.
good.
It's flat.
But how is that a good argument when it's like, okay, you're basing the evidence off of things that people did back then,
Well, but it's the same
Inaccurately.
thing. Why isn't that beer can flat?
but
Because
that
it's
doesn't really
cylindrical.
necessarily
Why?
talk about
Why?
like the
It's
biggest.
not though. It's flat. Can't you see it?
But nah, it's like
It's flat,
to the
dude.
point
You're
of, like,
fucked up.
the
It's flat.
biggest
That's what they're
conspiracy,
telling you,
dude.
dog. They're believing that's a
Okay,
cylinder.
so if you're basing it off, if they're telling you,
is
like,
it
they're
flat
just,
or is it not?
no, it's not.
So there's a difference.
From the planet and a beer can on the table, a big difference.
Okay, how big of a difference?
Wait, but you said if the Earth is flat, how come I'm not flat? I'm saying because I'm a human. I'm not Earth. The
Okay.
Earth is flat. I am a human.
I wouldn't
and the
say
human.
the Earth
I
is
am
I'm just
flat
saying, how
like
can
a
you
sheet of
how
paper.
can you differentiate
I know a
anything
few
from being
bitches that are
flat
flat.
or cylindrical?
It's not the world is a flat sheet of paper. It's the simple
That's
fact
what he's
that our
saying.
continents don't stretch around the globe. They're all within
Okay,
one.
question.
We're saying two different things. This guy thinks that the world is flat.
No,
Like,
I don't
flat
think it's round
planet-
either. I don't think it's round either.
What is it then?
And then what is it? Is this
Well,
beer
you'll
can
never know.
flat? Is this beer
It's
can
what
flat?
it's honestly
We'll never
whatever
know.
you believe.
Yeah.
No, it's
Because
not that.
it's-
It's not that.
Well,
Oh, it's not
okay,
that?
Okay, what?
No.
Well,
Why
okay,
not?
But think about the story.
Why
Look,
can't
okay.
it be flat? This beer can is flat.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh,
Tell
Go
me
ahead.
why it's
okay,
not.
but look,
'Cause it's
what about the
cylindrical.
No,
story
it's not.
about the
and
guys?
I'm humanoid.
It's obviously not flat. It's
Okay,
flat.
but look, just like how you're using that same argument,
see what
how
you're
come
getting at.
we don't talk about the same exact situation where it was? I want to say it was like
You always
the,
start this,
the
Marcus.
Renaissance time or some shit like that.
Okay, let's
but
just
it was
let's
like
group it.
It was
Oh,
two, it was two
Renaissance.
guys that was locked up. Like they were like locked up in chains.
Like homosexually?
No, like they were like locked up in chains, and the only images
no.
that they saw was the shadows of people on the cave wall. They weren't able to look at each other because it was so dark. All they seen was shadow images being shown on the wall, and they thought that was their reality. They thought everything was a flat, plain surface, and everything was two-dimensional shapes based off the only things that they were able to see.
Was it?
Not when they got out and realized,
it
holy
wasn't.
shit. Once they were able to see each other out of the pitch black and realize, holy fuck.
So when
Holy
you're
fuck.
when you're limited by your ability to see the truth, you see things as two dimensional, but when you actually see it, you can see that they're three dimensional.
No, that's not what he's saying. I'm just
No.
saying they were
I'm
lied
saying-
to.
that's not what you're saying.
No,
That's not what you're saying.
I'm
Okay.
saying based off
I followed that.
of Based off
It was a very.
Brandon, I'm on your team, dude.
He was shooting fish in a barrel with that one. He was reaching for straws on that one.
But that's
No.
what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, perspective can be skewed.
But perspective
But
can
reality
be skewed
in
for
some way-
round
in
also.
some way-
what
reality.
makes something reality? Just because you believe in it more than I do?
That's a bigger question.
When you see it, I think, and I think that's for most of all of us. Is like
That's the
you
bigger
believe
question.
something when you can see it. Just
You
like
can't
Marky
see
said.
air. You can't see religion.
Hey,
you can't see love.
God.
You can feel air.
You can't see love.
Why?
Wave your
You-
hand. This is
you're
a sea-
moving your hands. My hands are moving
but-
rapidly.
This is a sea of
If I
air.
was in
So
a
look at-
vacuum
it's
space,
gas.
I would still feel this.
How about this?
I'll show you some
How
gas,
about
bud.
this?
There
Okay,
you
you
go.
look at an eclipse.
That
So
NASA
you-
On a
produces.
clock, when it hits 12, the hands do overlap. But go ahead.
You see an eclipse.
On a what?
There's let's just talk about I don't even know which one it is. The moon is being the sun is projecting the Earth shape on the moon. I don't know if it's a lunar
Sooner.
eclipse or a solar eclipse.
Oh fuck.
So when that
Lunar.
so when that happens,
No,
though,
solar.
When that happens,
Solar.
the moon, this circular plate, because it's flat, out in space, is in a perfect circle
The
because
moon's a hologram.
because it's flat. And when the sun, which is also a perfect plate,
Billion miles away, 3 times
No,
the
the sun's
size, and
round.
everything can be
The sun's
covered by the
spherical.
moon.
it's flat.
The sun's spherical.
It's flat.
Okay.
It's a perfect flat. It's a perfect flat. It's like one of these.
Yeah, exactly. These lights.
It's projecting across the galaxy
Beautifully.
and the Earth, which is also flat, happens to be in that exact moment also perfectly in its perfect space, where it's also a plate, and that shines onto the moon, making
That's
a
also a plate.
spherical shape. But it's not the
Spherical
fact that
shape?
it's not the fact that
spherical
it's not
shadow?
the fact that it is circular. It's the fact that it's a plate, and it happens to align perfectly where it's this flat plate and this flat plate and this flat plate all happen to align where this flat plate shines across, and this flat plate in that immediate instant is also in its proportion looking spherical, and therefore it projects something that could be perceived as spherical onto the moon, but it's actually not spherical. It's plate-like and
You're
flat.
saying the sun and the moon are vertical and the Earth is horizontal, right?
They're all horizontal.
They're all horizontal.
Yeah, so they have to be because there's nothing round.
They're not like
And
this?
there's no spherical mass in the
Yeah.
galaxy. So you have a flat sun that is projecting onto a flat plate, which is the Earth, that is projecting onto a flat moon, and
I have another
all of those
answer.
things. That's what projects onto the moon, which makes it appear to be
I have an answer.
spherical, even though it's just a flat plate projecting onto the moon, and that's why a lunar or solar eclipse
I have an
occurs.
answer.
Like that's essentially how minuscule the chances of the eclipse are, which
tell
is
you?
the eclipse is also like very low that it occurs.
tell?
It occurs very small, but you're basically saying that not only do they have to align in that way based on like the cosmos occurring, but they also have to align in a way that the flatness of them also occurs because they're not spheres. Therefore, like the Earth could be, if it was spherical, it could be in any orientation
Wait.
of 360 degrees.
I'm gonna
And
break this
therefore,
down
it
for
could
you.
project onto the moon, which also could be any 360 degrees.
Marky?
And so
Thank
could
you.
the sun at any 360 degrees, so that those things all could occur. But if they're only flat,
I
then
can
the
tell you the
Earth
answer.
has to be at the exact point that it could only project a 300 or a 180 degree circle onto the moon.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the numbers, the odds of it go.
What are you getting at?
astronomical.
I gotta tell you, I
I'm
have
just
an
saying
answer.
that like your odds of a lunar eclipse are
Marky,
dropping
but
by
you're-
go ahead and go.
360
Thank you.
degrees by 3 different like gyrations because each of these things can only project their shadow at that
Wrong.
pace.
Wrong.
If the sun was projecting down or whatever, it couldn't
Wrong.
project the same angle
Hitch.
onto the moon. It would only look like a sliver.
Who's to say the sun and the moon's not
Wait,
artificial?
I can tell
why
you.
doesn't the sun
I can
ever
tell you.
project a shadow on the moon
Why,
where
Marky?
it's like flat?
Why?
Wait, Brayden, can I tell you?
Why
Yeah.
doesn't it
I
do
don't
that?
even understand how eclipse like
I
Why
can
doesn't
tell
it
you.
ever do
I
that?
think you
Why
just
doesn't
gotta
the
go for it.
sun
You just
ever
gotta get in
project
there.
a shadow on
Listen,
the moon?
put your
where
it's
difference
the-
on the
not
table.
part of the
I can
program.
tell you.
I get it.
It's
yeah.
not part of the coding.
Brayden, hold
part
on.
of the code.
wanna
No,
know.
it's coded.
Okay,
It's
all right,
coded.
all
Okay.
right.
Why doesn't the moon ever get a
I
lunar
know,
eclipse
I-
shadowed on
listen,
it where it's
Project
flat?
Blue
I got
Beam.
you. Ready? Project Bluebeam started like 2 or 3 years after
Bluebeam?
NASA. It's a holographic company that is funded by NASA. Okay, they're told
Where's NASA located right now?
on the Earth,
Where?
like
Washington.
Hold on,
or
It
some
was
shit.
Cape Canaveral.
I'll
it's
pull
not
it up.
anymore. Do you
Wait,
know where
I'll
it's
pull
at
it up.
right
Let me
now
tell you.
today?
I'll tell you.
Since you're an expert on the subject of
Hold on.
NASA,
That's irrelevant where it's located. I'll tell you
Okay.
because they have
Talking
transmission.
about NASA.
Hold on, ready?
Okay.
Let's hear about it.
NASA headquarters is located
In Alabama?
Washington D.C. as of right now. This is
Yeah,
2020.
so stop.
They're lying
Chill.
to us.
It's not.
Anyways,
It's out
more
of
lying.
Alabama.
Crazy. Ready? Hold
No,
on.
so what? You know
Wait,
more
wait,
than
wait. I'll tell you. Ready? Real quick. Give me
It's not.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute.
NASA's launching shuttles out of what did you say? Washington
Doesn't
D.C.
mean they're.
It doesn't matter. They're not going to leave the atmosphere.
They're shooting
Thank you.
rockets out of Washington D.C.
They're shooting blanks up in the.
They're
your
shooting
ass.
blanks.
Well,
Where are they shooting rockets out of?
NASA or SpaceX?
NASA.
SpaceX
where-
is funded.
Where does NASA shoot rockets from?
Let's look up that.
They
Can I
never
tell you
break
about-
the atmosphere.
Can I tell you Project Bluebeam
Yes.
started?
Yes, never
around
heard of
the
it.
time NASA started. It's a huge holographic company funded by NASA. They do holograms, super big ones. Okay, what happened is if you believe in flat Earth, Bible talks about it. The Bible also talks about the firmament. Not to bring
What
religion
chapter?
into it.
What verse?
It's in the Bible. You can look
No,
it up.
I want to know
Look
since
it
you're
up.
an expert.
Well, I'm not
on
an
it.
expert. I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth.
The Bible does talk about it. I'll look it up
talk
if you
about the
want the
firmament.
exact.
Okay.
Find it. Where does
Hold
it
on.
say flat Earth?
I'll tell you. Ready? Talks about the
Let me make
firmament.
sure my porn-
and
I
the
wanna-
I want to hear flat Earth in the Bible.
The firmament separates us from the waters
Does
of
it
heaven
say firmament,
above.
firmament in the Bible?
It
Firmament,
does say
yeah.
firmament,
Yes,
yeah.
it sure does, and it shows a picture.
Yeah.
They also talk about
Oh, it shows a
Nephilia.
description. Hold on.
Who?
Nephilia.
Nephilia.
Yeah.
Explain.
Those are giants, angels,
Oh
fallen
yeah,
giants
angels.
are
Nephilim. Nephilim.
The,
Yeah, those
from
were
the
real.
from the fall, the 22 fallen angels that came down and mated with women. That actually happened.
Created Nephilim.
Paramount Pictures. 22 falling stars goes around the forbidden land, which is that mountain. I forget the name of it. And
Paramount made the were they there
No,
on
Paramount,
foot?
no, Paramount is basing
drops
their logo off of the 22 fallen angels that got cast away from heaven, and there's because the angels are considered or called stars as well.
I'll believe about the fallen angels, and I'll believe about mating with earthlings.
Oh yeah,
But I'll believe about that way before I hear about flat Earth.
that's okay. Listen to this. Ready? So Project Bluebeam. Okay, they specialize in holograms. There's actually a video I can show you of a SpaceX rocket launching, and that upper half is like glitching in and out, and it's like disappearing. And the guy that was like commentating was like, "Oh, we have a problem with our cameras." Immediately switched to another camera angle. But what the theory is that the fucking rockets that they're launching from SpaceX, because they weren't like scheduled to, it was actually fake. So they were projecting it to test the Project Bluebeam holograms. Anyways, if you're in a flat Earth, in a firmament, and they say the sun and the moon revolve around inside, and then they say that NASA is hiding up all of this crazy bullshit and then funding a hologram company to deceive us. So if that's the case, and we're on a flat Earth, and the sun and the moon are going around the world, the fucking flat Earth world, inside the firmament, the eclipse you're seeing is actually a projection onto the moon that NASA is hologramming. Also, there's a huge theory that the moon is a fucking
I need a beer for this.
what is it? A structure that was put into place, and it's actually hollow metal, and there's a certain amount of dirt
That
or
one
shit.
right there, that's a new one. I
That's
never
crazy.
heard that
Have
one.
you?
So
have you,
I'll explain. Ready? So if you had a sandbox that's 3 inches deep, Braden, and you dropped a golf ball in there,
have you
it
ever
would
had a
make-
sandbox?
Well, if you had a sandbox,
Have
let's
you
say-
ever had one?
Yeah, I've had a sandbox.
Okay.
Okay. So if you had a sandbox that was whatever size, but it was only 3 inches deep, right? With level sand, you dropped a golf ball in there. It would create a crater that was 3 inches deep, let's say, and
It would never do that.
well, however wide of a golf ball that the golf ball displaced the sand. And then if you dropped a bowling ball, the bowling ball would displace way more sand, so it'd be a wider crater, but it'd only be 3 inches deep. They say the average
not that
crater,
deep.
the average crater on the moon, they all match the same depth. They don't go past this
Marky,
certain
I
depth.
thought we never been to the moon.
We never have.
Okay, so what the fuck are we talking
but they're
about?
looking at the moon.
We're talking about the shit that you're telling us is fact.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Well, the moon's
What, have we
inside.
been or haven't we?
We've never been.
Have you ever heard about Project Blackbeam?
Whoa,
What's that?
hey, whoa.
You guys brought me here.
You never heard of Project Blackbeam?
Hey, I'm sure he'll show you a black beam
Project Blackbeam
for
is
support.
okay. So you never heard about Project? Oh, okay, hold up. Project Blackbeam is all about propaganda that the government put out to make people believe shit like this.
Yes.
You
and
heard
shit
that?
like your guys are believing too.
I have heard of that.
Yeah,
And
no,
shit
this
like
is
you
all,
guys are
this is
believing.
all what this
Okay,
is.
but what if
This
we're
is
both
Project
wrong? Hold on.
Blackbeam
What if all
in
four
work.
of us are wrong? What if all four of us
Okay,
are wrong
but
and
look.
something different?
Okay, you might
could
say
be.
you might
That's
say
what-
that.
That's what I'm
Nothing's
getting
real.
at. All four of us
Nothing's real.
could be wrong.
Nothing's real.
Bro, 1,000%.
three of you
We
guys.
can all
But
be
Project Blackbeam, you're just eating into that.
okay, but we can all
What's
be
wrong with
eating
eating
into
the
the
black
same
beans?
bullshit of all of us are just
I don't know,
having a
that's my-
debate over shit that just made up right now.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Like we can all be having a debate about shit that's not real on anybody's
Yep,
account.
and NASA could be like, these motherfuckers fell for it.
Okay.
Black
NASA's
people-
Real
sitting there
question.
like these
Real question. Real
fucking
question.
guys.
Real
Are
question, go.
aliens real?
Yes,
No, they're demons.
Okay.
aliens are
Braden,
real.
They're demons.
What you
Aliens
got
are
on it?
real.
All right, aliens real?
Yeah.
If you
Are
think
we
we're the
alone in
only
the universe?
beings-
Okay, so we got yeses pretty much across the board.
There's
No,
no
I
way
said
we
they're
could be the
demons.
only beings in the galaxy. You got to be real self-centered to
Wait,
really
like the
think
ones
that,
from
bro.
Mexico?
I honestly, here's where I lose it though. Okay, so for me to believe, so for you to believe that aliens are real, but the Earth could possibly be flat,
Or round, or round,
I
or
struggle
round.
with that
Not
though.
flat. Not flat.
Not flat.
Not flat. I'm
got
talking about that
non-flat
we're
earth.
all a lot
Fuck you.
closer
Wait,
than we beg to see.
Did you hear
But
my-
look,
Are
to-
we still
look, to
around,
go
though?
back-
We could be a bigger round. Well, you ever think about that? What if we're a wider outer equator?
No, I don't fuck with you.
No, like I dead ass.
You're
I
over
dead
here
ass
being
do
flat
believe
and
that
bigger
there's
round.
a lot.
Dude,
Look, no,
I'll
hold
tell you,
on.
I'll
Hold
tell you my
on,
big
look.
round
No,
theory
you're
after
all-
you.
you're
Go
all
ahead,
over
go
the
Okay,
ahead.
so
You're all
look, to
over
go.
I know, because my brain's like, oh, I don't know what to believe.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, bro,
no,
look, to
fuck
go
with
back
that.
to his Project Bluebeam thing, okay, it might sound like a huge stretch, but the biggest
huge
reason,
stretch?
Look, the biggest
'Cause it's
reason
black.
for that to even, hey, nothing stretching over here, baby. But
I'll
look,
stretch you, bud.
look, the only reason that any of that can really be okay, probably real, because when Project Bluebeam, when I first heard about it, their whole mission was to fake a crazy alien invasion,
Which is
the
coming.
first sight that we seen of Project Bluebeam publicly is when they showed the light show in Seattle, and people said that they were able to feel projections
Tupac.
coming off the light tower. No, it was way more advanced.
I know,
than
but
Pac.
remember Tupac? How crazy
yeah,
that
the
was? How
Tupac
real that was?
hologram, yeah, all that. But Project Bluebeam
How
was
fuck
meant.
did that get went in there?
Did you see the Tupac
Yeah, this guy.
performing
Yeah,
on stage?
Coachella 2012 when I was a fucking sophomore in college. What are we talking about?
Damn, you were graduated college in
No,
2012.
I was not.
Braden
But
was
look, the whole
37 in
point-
2012.
Look, the whole
I was
point of that
24.
was,
I was
to
out of college.
make all of us one religion, to scare
Yeah.
everybody, create a savior so that we can all physically see somebody coming and save us to make us all believe in the same thing. And it's like, okay, if you don't believe in that, why right now in Mecca is the U.S. government working with them to build a world religion temple with every
what the fuck
religion
is
based
that?
on this temple? Why is that?
Okay, here's the question though. I'll entertain this. Here's
Are
the
you
question.
hooked?
Here's,
Are you
here's-
biting?
What?
Are you gonna bite
By what?
this?
Kinda.
Okay. Respect.
So
I can respect
nibble
so
on
the question is
Nibble on
here's the question though. He's asking, the question he's asking is why, or basically what he's not asking, but what he's saying is that
Dewayne.
do I believe that they are trying to create a singular world religion that everybody will believe in?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Respect.
Does everybody believe it?
No, not yet.
And that's the thing, is that like that is the problem of what is everybody. And that's a question that goes back to Nazism, that goes back to like
Right.
multiple like genocidal like ideologies, like what is everybody? Just because something becomes like massively adopted does not mean the majority of the people actually believe it. That's the whole like farce.
Then
that
is it not
occurred-
massively
that's-
adopted?
No, but that's the farce.
Not until-
no. Hold on, but that's the farce of the
Spell farce.
COVID-19. Is it actually as deadly as it is? Is it
No.
actually as pervasive as it is?
No.
Are as many people actually believing that the requirements of what the government is touting are required? No. But do a lot of people get in line with what is being perpetuated by the government? Yes. There's
Yeah.
a subject. There's like 10, maybe 20, 30% that actually truly believe that this is the truth. There's probably 20% outside of that make up a majority of the populace that actually like adhere to what's being propagated. And then there's probably some people that are on the fringe that they don't really know what they believe, and then there's some like hardly adverse people.
Is that weed?
They're like, hell no, I don't believe that at all. But you really have the singular religion. It's like 20, 10, 10, 10. And that like it expands. So it's like it's the problem. It's always been the problem. It's the problem of that the majority actually doesn't believe. But it's about the Heidelberg syndrome or whatever it is, where people will fall in line if they don't have conscious thought of their own.
Look, so I agree with you 100,000% because I 1,000% believe that now in today's society, the only thing that people actually validate as being real is things they can see. If they don't see you driving around in a fast car, you're not making $300,000 a year if you're in a Honda, because people need to physically see what the attributes are.
You know, you realize that is also, it's 100% accurate what you're saying. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a professor, and she's doing a doctorate through Johns Hopkins on like the absorption of students' ability to like learn. That's like literally what she's studying for her John Hopkins doctorate thesis. It's like 30 times more. It's not 30. It's 30,000 more times that kids can absorb information based off of video, things that they're seeing in the modern day right now, than they can based off of the written word.
I agree.
So the written word means almost nothing, but what they can visually see on a video, they're more captured by it. It catches their interest. They're able to stay focused on it. They're able to ascertain the information that's being like disposed to them. That's fucking crazy scary, because it basically means that
no matter what you show people,
media
runs the fucking world.
Is running the show at this point. And what they can read, even if the literature is accurate, if the propaganda that's pushed through video, the media, television, whatever it is, even if it's YouTube or whatever, that is so much more absorbable.
I'm ending it.
That they're going to be influenced by 30,000 times more potent.
That's 1,000%. Like, think about, like, dude, do you know that I was the most hated person in my family because of who I voted for?
I love you.
But I was literally, I'm not even sitting there like it's not a black or white thing. You guys got to really pay attention to what this guy is doing and what he shows as his receipts.
Who's this guy?
Trump.
Why did you like him?
Because
was it his hair?
No, because it's the simple fact that if you're a fucking Democrat, you're gonna own. Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line. Democrats vote for people based off of what they say.
Damn.
Like, hey, we're gonna give free, and they don't do it. They shit in your fucking face.
Women are Democrats because I feed them a story and they love
billions me. And let you fucking starve based off of you voting for them. And it's like, okay, Trump might have been all this and that, but nothing was behind curtains. Everything he was doing, he had receipts for. Every play he was making, he was letting people know. He might have not done it in the best way possible, but based off of how he wants to handle money, like Republicans that teach you, I'm cutting you off because you have the ability to go out and get it. You have working arms and legs. Democrats would be like, dude,
amen, brother.
What you got working legs for? I'll give you $500 if you stay home.
Yeah,
and people do that
funded.
every
Fucking
fucking
Well, and this
time,
where I might lose a lot of people on this comment, but I think that in some ways, and this is if you're looking at it from like one angle of the Republican Party, that the Republican Party gets a bad diss because it is pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality.
People don't like that.
They don't like that, and there are some people that can't. Period.
There are some
the
people,
exception doesn't make the rule.
There are some people that can't.
But the majority can.
The opposite is that the Democratic Party says that we can help you to get on your feet, and they put it a blanketed term that
But they don't help you.
No,
they never fucking do.
But here's the thing. But and that's the big difference between the two parties is one says you can make this happen, but I want to live in a world where, and I don't know why, I don't know if this is like my ideology personally or how I was raised or whatever. It could be like baked in. I want to live in a world where I believe that people have the fortitude within themselves 90% of the time to like overcome the adversity, to like make their own way, to like overcome poverty, racial discrimination, bullying. Like I want to believe
homosexuality,
that whatever it is, like the person has the sanctity within themselves to actually like overcome their own obstacles, and they don't need some sort of outside source to like lend them a hand, because in some way that cheapens their experience in their storyline. It's like, yeah, I did it, but I got a handout along the way, and they can never really feel actualized because they feel as though, and like, nobody climbs the mountain on their own. Like, let's get that clear. Like, nobody is an island. There's always like people that help along the way that make things possible. But I don't think that the government actually looks at themselves as a helping hand. I think they look at themselves as a helping hand that expects your loyalty afterward. If I help you, then, and this is actually even
a big 10,000 in tax.
This is a bigger thing that I was looking at. You'll be interested in this because it's actually a question for you in business. And I was asking it to a couple of people recently, and I think it's pretty clear. But there's always room for opinion. I don't know if anything in business is actually altruistic, and I would challenge you to actually think of a time when you can do something truly altruistic in business and expect nothing in return, like truly, like at your heart of hearts, nothing. So if you like were to discount something because somebody had a bad experience, what you're actually hoping, like in the subsect of that transaction, is that they have a good experience because of what you did, and they will come back again. And that's like the same thing as what I'm talking about in that like democratic, like sort of like, we'll give you a handout, and therefore you want something in return.
Your vote.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing really truly altruistic in business. Like it's so like I have somebody right now I'm doing a loan for, and I'm making no money. I'm losing money on it. I'm doing a loan for them. I like the guy genuinely. I went to school with him when I was a kid. He's in the midst of a divorce. I'm going to do a loan for him, and I literally am going to make no money. I'm going to lose money for him. I've done 2 loans for him. He's been a loyal client. I want to genuinely help.
Decision.
I want to genuinely help him.
Not every time.
I want to genuinely help him. Like from this standpoint, like of me right now, I'm like, I want to help you. I want to do you a solid. You've been good to me. I want to be good to you.
For himself or for yourself?
For him.
Not for you.
No, it's a loss for me. It's an L.
It doesn't make you feel good at all?
It makes me feel good, but that's not the point. What I actually notice, if I like really boil it down, I'm being honest, is that I want to do this because at some level, like the most true level, I want to help him.
And it makes you feel good.
And it does make me feel good.
That's the selfish part.
I do get that selfish part, but beyond that, even deeper, if I'm being truly honest, is that I want to help him because he's been a loyal client, and that I want to help him. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be so good to him that in the future he would think of me and use me again. And so it's not a truly altruistic like expression. It's baited. Even though I'm going to lose money on this transaction, he has been a loyal client in the past.
And you are a master baiter. Like, let's be honest.
And it's like you're trying to lure him in on the network. Well, it's like it's the network aspect of it.
It is, but I'm not thinking of it that way in the immediate. I'm just thinking of, if I do good by this person, then hopefully he thinks of me. He'll do good to me in the future. But that's not altruistic. Altruistic is when you give a guy, like a homeless guy, some money on the street and you never think about it again. But in business and in politics, I don't know if like true altruism can actually exist, because there's no. And this is what I was like trying to resonate on. Like in the last week, I'm like, is this even like a thing where altruism exists in business? But when you expand it into politics, I don't know if it really does exist.
Business and politics, the main thing that's always going to be on everybody's mind is money.
I'm gonna give you mine. I want mine back.
Like it. No matter what, no matter how much I love you, no matter how much I fuck with you, I'm gonna need.
That's the Democratic Party's flaw for me, is that one of their flaws. It's one of their flaws, but even they're gonna give, but they expect it back. And I think the Republican Party is more black and white in that they're not quite that way. But also the Democratic Party right now has gone. The Democratic Party's gone so far off of the rails of what the Democratic Party typically is that it doesn't even really resemble the Democratic Party in a lot of ways. It looks like something. Now you see even Democrats that they don't even recognize their own party, and they're starting to criticize their own party because of how different it looks from what it has been for the last 20 years. And that's telling too. The Republican Party, I I think it was more aggro when Trump was in office. It became more militant in some ways, and it looked like something that it really
it's
had
because
been.
he was kicking compromised people out.
He was doing that, but I do think I do think that the vein of what they were expressing was accurate. I do think that there was like the MAGA group or whatever was more aggressive than it may have been in the past. However, I think the media exacerbated that, and they turned it into some sort of they heightened the sense of what it actually was. Like, yeah, it was like aggressive and it was a little bit more than what was typical, but they made it like militant and like kind of crazy and like white supremacist.
It's because
and all
of
this
everything
shit.
that they showed.
Right. And
they didn't show regular people.
It was borderline more, but it wasn't what they propagated. And probably the same is true of the Democratic Party, but you do have Democrats that are like staunch Democrats that are also looking at the Democratic Party right now, and they're like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" They don't recognize them.
Real quick,
They're fucking
Dwayne, what's your opinion on like left, right, center, conservative? I would say.
I believe in right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care what color you are, what race you are. If it doesn't sound like what is really gonna benefit us as a people, I don't give a fuck what race you are. If it's not really gonna benefit us, then we don't need it. There's no way that college tuition for everybody.
What
impossible?
Okay, question.
Isn't this weird though? Okay, I don't mean to like point out. The first thing he brought up, and I'm not trying to make it.
No, go ahead.
But the first thing he talked about was race.
Well, I was gonna ask, what's your view on?
Which is super interesting because that's a tell of the time. That's a sign that actually like right and left has somehow become racial. It has become this like racial like thing, which is like not actually true of like the parties. And if you look at it, the roots of the Republican Party is actually like the abolishment of slavery, and now however many hundreds of years later, here we are, and it's turned completely upside down. But like the first thing he brought up was this race component. That is it valid? Yes, it's 100% valid based off of like the landscape today of what the parties have become. But like it's not intrinsically true of Democrats or Republicans. Like it's not about a black and white or whatever. Like it's Republican, Democrat. But that's how far fucking twisted it's gotten. Yeah. It's somehow become racial.
But like,
good.
Well, like it's sitting here to the point where the motherfuckers on TV like, you're not black if you don't vote for me, and I'm sitting here like,
that's absurdly like disrespectful to me. Like that's crazy.
Come on, y'all. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Y'all really gonna run with this shit?
That's insane.
Then everybody's gonna sit there like, oh, he's putting black people in charge. Look, I love it. But how about we put the most qualified people in charge? Not like how about we not try to focus on putting the first trans, the first black? Like, dude, we're so far along in life. I don't want to be the first black nothing in 2022. Make me the first qualified person, the first hardworking person. So you're the first person to not take a fucking day off. I don't care about your race, sex, gender. If you was born a woman and you got men, like that's not a plus. And that's what all they push, and they really push you with some.
How far? I mean, that could be. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth probably, but I'm just gonna go on. Like I'm gonna
put my foot in your mouth.
In an analogy, right? So, like, let's say that there was just a race being run between kids, and there was a race being run between 12 kids, and they run the race, and they name first place.
A real race.
Yeah,
not like ethnicity.
They're like foot racing.
Is there fences in this race?
And the first Mexican place kid, they say, "Oh, you're first place! Congratulations." And it's a black kid. And even though the race was run, and this is probably not likely, but a white kid actually beat the black kid.
I'm pretty fast.
They say, so Marky's running. Yeah, but they say, well, you won first place. And the kid goes, well, what about the other kid? Like, why did he come in first? And they say, well, you're the first one because you're black.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Like
that's exactly it.
Does that make that kid feel good though? Like,
no.
I'm just asking. Like, is this like actually translating to like if you're talking about like what is I don't even know like the proper terminology, but like you have kids getting accepted into college, affirmative action or whatever it is.
Critical race theory.
No, it's not critical race theory.
Oh, no.
But
that's what they teach
affirmative
about
action. Yeah.
Affirmative action, where it's like, does that kid that gets admitted into college actually feel
they have that for women too?
Joy and the benefit of being admitted into that college based off of their own merit, or the fact they know that it's like partially because of like their race.
I'm black and I qualify for this new program.
They don't get the same like equity in like emotional intelligence and like being able to be like, I did that.
I feel like that's a cop out.
Like they have to know at some like level that they got given something, and they don't get. It's cheating them of actually doing it.
Yes,
because they're worthy of doing it, but you're cheating them
by saying, "Hey, Dwayne, you did good for a black dude," and it's like, how come I just can't be Dwayne? Out of all our qualifiers, you were the best. Why does it have to be Dwayne? You were the best black person that qualified.
Asterisk.
Real quick.
I don't like the asterisk.
Oh yeah,
hold on.
You're cheating them out of the feeling, the actual like.
That's literally a pat on the back and a flick in the balls.
It's bullshit.
Good job. Not really.
I haven't heard that one.
And I get it because there is like
pat
inequality where it's like, okay, there are institutions that are like,
I've been there.
There are institutions that are like, they
Minus
show
the pack.
racist qualities where it's like, there's something that needs to be done. But like, I don't know if that is the answer to where you're giving people like this half.
I feel like if they
Like
really wanted to attack race,
it's not the right. It's not the right answer.
Take out color. Don't post a picture when somebody gets a promotion.
100%.
Don't do nothing. Yo, Braden, congrats. Yo,
100%.
Dwayne, congrats. If I see, yo, Braden is the third president of Lodi High versus Dwayne is the first black, it literally looks like y'all was like,
Hey, how about this? How about you're just a number?
why not?
Through admissions.
Why not?
Let's just
You're
judge
just a number
people
through
by the
admissions.
content of their character, not by the color of their skin.
You're just a
Exactly.
number on admissions. Why is that so difficult?
Okay, real
Why
quick.
is that so difficult?
Hold on,
I
real
don't
quick.
fucking
In a
get
lot
it.
of other countries, you can't even put your fucking race on a job application
I don't
because
get
it's
it.
illegal.
And it should be. You can't have race equality or race inequality when race is a bubble you have to mark. Period.
1,000%.
You
1,000%.
can't.
I'm Mexican.
You
So
can't.
check this out. On
You're
like
racially
that little
profiling
bubble,
yourself.
1,000%.
like ethnicity, you can put Hispanic, but
Yeah.
like there's nothing for
I'm
like
Hispanic,
like, there's
actually,
nothing for
progressive.
like Mexican. I see that, but
No,
it's
it's-
just weird. Like for the race,
Yeah.
though,
I
be
always
like
put other.
white. Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
put
I
other.
had to put other. Like
And I'll be
Okay.
the
I put Caucasian, but I spell it COCK AIS.
ASIAS.
Okay,
Is that how you spell it?
Speaking of
I
which-
just get the cock and I get distracted and I finish right there.
but even I mean you look at you boil down and I'm not trying to get on like a white fucking thing, but
It's
you
all good.
even look at like the distinguishment of white. Are Jews white?
No, they're Jewish.
Is there a bubble?
no, there isn't.
No, there isn't.
So they get put into white. Are they the same?
Okay. To
Yeah.
also touch back on that, I want to say
Should
it's like
they have a special category?
They went through a
no,
lot.
but
Are
to-
all whites equal?
Wait, hold on, Dwayne. What are you
Are
saying?
English and Scottish the same?
Yes.
No.
They have an accent. They're the
No,
same thing.
one was enslaved by the other for
that's
like
true.
years. So they're like not they're
No.
not the same thing.
So they want you to believe.
They're not the same. They're the same if you look at it in respect to like African Americans, because if they migrated to America and they were involved in the colonial like upbringing of America and they enslaved blacks, and like you could homogenize them as the same, but like that doesn't mean that every white person that's filling out an application like followed the same lineage of somebody that like migrated over and became a colonial or that was here during the 1800s and then enslaved black people. So then they should be homogenized as white. It's like, which white are you talking about? Like
Wait,
when
1,000%.
question for
when
Dwayne.
is white like
1,000%.
white is like kind of like, and I don't mean this in any, but it's the most like kind of racist like way of like lumping people together. It's like what are you talking about?
like I honestly, I feel like when
And
people say
African-
white, it's just like fuck it, you're white. But it's like, no, I'm literally Italian. No, I'm literally Portuguese.
Right.
Just because my
Greek,
skin's just because my skin's not black and it doesn't have a pigment, doesn't
Well,
white.
and it's also the thing of African Americans. Like it's like, okay, black. Well, yeah, I know somebody from Ghana, and
That's true. Peter's wife.
but there's different like there's like even different like I mean it was using the term segregation, but there's different like pieces of black history in Africa. It's like there was the indigenous people of Africa that were slaves, and then there was the people of Africa that were slave traders. And so like which one were you?
Shit, that's crazy.
Which black were you?
1,000%.
It's like you're not everybody's black.
I have a
Not
question
everybody's white. It's more homogenized than
Like
that.
when
Again.
motherfuckers be like they'll say some
it a
shit like,
long,
oh,
like,
African American.
word?
Like,
It's
do
gonna
you
spell
know
No.
that in college I had a white professor who spoke fluent Nigerian. He was born and
Yes.
raised in
I had
Nigeria.
one, too.
And his daughter was blonde hair, blue eyes.
Was she
They
cute?
were Nigerian not because of their skin,
No.
because of where they came from.
Where they were.
That's it. That's all it is. Like I always tell folks, if you blindfolded everybody and just had people match up with ideologies and then had us all take it off, you're going to realize that race is the last thing on the table.
It's the last.
Dwayne, question.
Answer.
If someone's not born in Africa and they live in America, do you call them African American? If they're black,
I just say black.
You say black.
Most like my generation, like the young folks, we just say black.
So, question: Why would, like, if someone called me a white dude, like, that wouldn't bug me, right? I mean, it's a very like, they're obviously generalizing, like, my skin color. Like, I'm a shade of white, whatever. But if someone said black, like, why do people get offended by that? Like, why would they say?
But you could be making a misinterpretation already.
Wait, hold on, I have a whole different question. If you said, if you called someone black, like, let's say you or me or whoever said, oh, that black dude there, be like, no, I'm African American, but he's never been to Africa or was not born in Africa. Is he African American, or like what would you say to
be
not?
Honest, it's like with that one, that's tricky because I know the only people who can have their race in America is Native Americans. They're the only people who I know can say that because they were here before all of us.
That's a very good point.
As for African Americans, it's like, okay, if you were born there and you came over, like I have a best friend, his name's Stanley. My boy was born and raised in Nigeria. He came over here. He classifies as an African American. Yeah. I was born here, raised here. Say I'm black. My ancestry is say I'm 20 other things. Say I'm black.
But why would they get offended if I said black?
Here's the thing, though, Mark.
Because it's coming from you. We're like how me and him were talking about the media. Mm-hmm. Like when I was out there talking to the left's people face to face, do you know how thrown off they were that you're not bothered by our Trump flag? I'm like, why would I be bothered by your opinion? Mm-hmm. The media, I'm like, look, just because the media shows the hillbilly ass white people out there getting attacked by some black folks, don't mean y'all all hillbillies. It also don't mean we all out here acting crazy either. Mm-hmm. And then it's like with that dude, it's just, I don't know, black. Either way, I don't get.
I'm gonna make a statement that's is not any experience that I ever had, but it's like the counter argument that I would like imagine, right? Like I've never lived this, and this is the point. You said like, oh, if somebody called me white, I wouldn't be offended. That could be because that's never been an offensive term to you.
How is black offensive though?
Critical race theory in elementary school.
A couple hundred years, like it wasn't cool to be black at all, and they used to lynch you for shit. Like if they would just be like, that dude raped somebody, and they would just be like, yep, he's black, kill him.
And then everything, and then
so it's like it's never been a negative thing to be white.
Okay.
Therefore, like if you were like to boil it down in your subconscious, if you like not even critical race theory, but if you were just to believe like, is it bad being white? In America, it's never been a bad thing to be white, but in America, it has been a bad thing to be black. Mm-hmm. Just at the face value. So it's like to you, it's like, oh, it's not a bad thing to be white. Like, why would I be offended if somebody called you black? For a period in time, like being black was like you were a second class like human.
That's a period of time that I was not
black.
No, but you go down to the South, it's still real. You go down to places in like real America, it's real still. Yeah,
dude, the South is a time machine. Like I have a cousin, she went to college in Alabama. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, she lives in a fucking time machine. People don't mix. People like like the only girls that fuck with her are not from Alabama.
Really?
Yes. Like in the South, bro, it's real come on now. They didn't want to give up slavery. The only reason slavery ended is because they lost. That's all. And after that, they even came up with the fucking bullshit ass rule. Hey, you're only a slave till you're 18 years old. After that, you got your freedom. You know what they would do? Wait till they was 18 and send their ass somewhere else in the South where that law does not comply.
What?
Tricks on you, you're still a slave. But like he was saying, it's like black anything is like generalized as bad. A Black Christmas means terrible. Like there was even a horror movie, Black Friday. It's cheap, better deals. It's like,
oh fuck. Okay.
It's just one of those things that black, the word in general, has always been meant to be diminished as less than.
Like if a city had a citywide blackout, like there's no fucking electricity.
Bad news.
So question. So I guess my real question is if someone's not from Africa and they're born and raised in America, like what would you say? Like what to not offend someone?
What's the context? Like what's the context of you don't know me, I don't know you. Why are you trying to call me black?
I would say
like,
that
what's
dude.
the situation? That dude, that
Yeah, that
guy.
dude.
Like, it was like, that's fine. If you don't know, that's fine. Like, in today's world, if I see a woman that don't really look like a woman, I'm not gonna say she, because she'll take that shit all the way out. I just be like, hey, yo,
You.
hey,
Isn't
how
that
are
crazy?
you doing?
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
You ever
But
met,
it-
you ever
it
met
ta-
like
makes us-
you ever met like a Haitian dude?
Yeah. At
Right.
the gym.
Look kind of
They
black.
wouldn't consider themselves African American
but
because
they,
Haiti.
but they
It's
might.
Haiti,
they-
baby. Africa, from Asia.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he is.
Haitian.
Yeah,
I went
he's
to high
Haitian.
school.
But you
with
see,
He
like
goes to my gym. He's
that's
really
the
cool
thing.
guy.
That's the thing that's interesting is we also like just group people. So like Asians, you know, like oh, like it's just like a white stereotype or like maybe multiple cultures around the world. It's like oh, all Asians
They look the
alike.
same.
It's not actually true. It's that we're like our brain is triggered and we're more used to seeing white or black faces, so we're able to differentiate it more. We have better discernment. So like Asian people to Asian people, they have like they can see that that's one person next to the next like super easy compared to like what we can. But it's the same thing. Like if you see like a black dude, you might like if there was something that like happened and you were trying to like describe the scene, you could say like, oh, this Haitian guy was over here. He was trying to help this girl, and this dude came over here. Like, but if you had the context to be able to differentiate like the people, even though they looked black, they're not. If you knew their background, but like a lot of us like
Nine
don't.
times out of 10 you
we're,
don't.
We're
He's
living,
generalized, right?
especially look at here. Like we're in like even like a more like like in Lodi, especially like. There's more white people.
He
There's a lot
said
of
he was-
Hispanics, and if you lived in Stockton for a couple of years, you'd probably be able to be like, oh yeah, this cat like that. You could probably like tell like where they're from. Like there's a difference between
1000%.
like being like there's a difference between like black in America and like African. Like you can tell
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like an African. Like just kind of like looking at them, like they have a different way that they like carry themselves and like
to be
their
honest with
posture
you,
and shit.
Yeah, I went to an African party and they were calling me a white boy.
Shut up. Really?
Kid you not.
No, you
I'm
would,
like,
you would
why?
never walk into a group of like Africans
whitewash?
and see him and be like, this dude's African. You'd be
Dude,
like, no.
straight up, they're like, why is your skin so light? I'm like, what? And
I know,
like
dude.
at the time, like I wasn't like growing my hair out super long, so it was just short and curly. They're like, my brother, do you put a perm in your hair? I'm like, nah, my mom's Portuguese and Scottish and black. But to them, they're like, they were just looking at me blown away, bro.
Really?
Like they're playing with my hair. And like, I literally go sit down to eat and everybody's eating with their hands and I'm using utensils and they're just looking at me. They're like,
What?
Stick out like a sore thumb.
Wow.
For sure. Like
Wow.
you go see Sam's family, like where they're like hardcore African.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit. These are different people.
yeah.
Levels. There's
These are different
levels,
people.
young
These,
blood.
these are
There's
just
levels,
different,
yeah, there's
different-
levels to
these are
this game.
different people.
Yeah.
Like they're just not
Dead
the
ass.
same people.
So I have a question again. What? I'm gonna go back political a little bit. Side note. What made you choose to view the world through your eyes and vote the way you vote? And what was like? Because you said your family was like hating on you and shit like that. Like what's the difference between like what was the trigger for you to be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing.
Well, for once, so my biggest thing was, dude, I've always grown up around all walks of life.
Okay.
My mother is like my family is very, very.
Where are you
very
from
mixed.
originally?
Stockton.
Okay, so you're like
From
born and
Stockton.
bred. Okay.
Yeah, born and bred.
Where
I
have,
went
you where have you traveled to? Like in your life?
I've traveled down to Arizona. I've been down to LA. Been up to New York. Been up to Oregon. Been down to Texas.
So a lot of the U.S. though.
A lot of the U.S.
A lot of the U.S.
I've been to Guam before.
Oh, sick.
My friend was stationed there.
Black people in Guam, they're not black. Their nationality is Chamorro. Imagine me, but I
I've heard
grow
that,
naturally. I grow naturally red hair.
I've heard that.
It's called Chamorro.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
My friend was stationed out there and he was talking about that. And it's a trip because like you don't really see a black dude with red hair.
But see, in Australia, black people grow blonde hair and they have blue eyes.
Yeah, there's some
Because-
wild
Oh
shit
gosh,
going
I bet
on.
that looks crazy.
Yeah, those are like the
Like native folks
Yes.
in Australia.
Real
bush
quick,
people.
Side note: Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember the side note? Do you remember the fucking dude from Stockton that like he was the handsome mugshot?
Yeah.
All
Oh,
the
yeah,
bitches
yeah.
are loving him.
Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah,
I-
Jeremy Meeks. He has gray eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a trip, dude.
But
Something
it's
about
like,
that combination looks good.
but look, to go back to what you're saying, it's like, dude, I've always been the guy to just judge off of who you are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck what like, of course, I'm the type of person to acknowledge who you are as a person, your beliefs. But it's like, if you cool, you cool. If you're not, you're not.
So out of curiosity, do you vote like previous? Were you like Obama, or were you like who was his adversary? Was that
John McCain.
McCain.
So I lived in
You're
Arizona.
probably like right at the borderline.
I lived in
of
Arizona
ability to
after
vote, right?
after McCain lost.
Yes.
I lived in Arizona because he's the governor out there.
Yeah.
Martial law, very easy to find a job.
When you say martial law, what do you mean?
Open carry. Everybody can have a fucking gun.
yeah. So
Everybody.
it's-
As long as it's not concealed,
In
they don't give
Arizona?
a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
the-
you can carry a
Oh
gun
yeah,
everywhere.
that's right.
Dude, the
Yes,
crime rate is
Yeah.
non-existent. It's so easy to do. Me and my wife had a fucking 4-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for $800.
Yeah.
I
Those
love
are
that
some
for you.
dumb
Crime
stuff.
was non-existent. Everybody was cool. Even in what they considered was the super duper ghetto, people walking around with their doors unlocked. Everybody has a gun.
So real quick, me and Dwayne worked literally next door to each other at different times.
Never knew each other.
What are
No.
you talking about?
In
Arizona.
2017, when I lived out there, remember? Or
Oh
was it
yeah,
South
yeah,
Twin?
yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
We could have seen each other so many times in
Isn't that weird?
Scottsdale.
We probably did.
Not weird.
Dude.
That's so odd.
Like the cities I worked in, Chandler, Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I lived in Phoenix. I
It's
worked
right there.
in Tempe.
You guys probably cross paths.
Lived in Tempe. My friend lived in Chandler. Went to Chandler Wolves High School and lived in Gilbert actually. How weird is that?
I've been down to Gilbert.
And I went to school in fucking Mesa.
Gilbert.
See, and we could have fucking ran into each other and never
Man,
known.
damn.
And it was like, shit, everybody was voting Obama, because he's the first black president ever, but motherfuckers don't realize he was our most violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he shot shit, blew shit up. Only thing he did different was smile in your face, and he had a nice wave.
And he had a tan.
Other than that, it's
Yeah.
like,
Who did you vote for?
honestly, I don't think I was young.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Were you old enough to vote for?
No.
How old are you right now?
Obama, I'm 26.
I think I voted
No,
for.
we weren't old enough to vote yet.
Nah.
I think I voted for. Excuse me. I voted for Obama on his second term. I can't remember if I voted for him on his first. The thing I like about Obama was how politically like polished he was. But I was dumb. I was dumb at that point, right? So I'm like, just out of
I
high.
was dumb at that point.
No, but I don't mean that in the
He had a
fact
great
that like
temper,
I don't mean that in the fact that I wouldn't have voted for him if I like felt myself more like politically inclined. I mean that in the fact that I wasn't like versed in like my politics. Like I didn't actually have like a reason why
I
I
agree.
voted. It was like I was like sucked into the like which one do I want to be the president? Like it was more.
Wasn't John McCain like in his 78s also? He was like
Yeah,
old as
but
fuck.
John McCain probably had like the backing. John McCain was in some ways.
I was 6th grade when Obama first was running for president.
He was more political. He was more
Yeah, dude, we're
political
young.
in the
We're
eye
young.
than
Couldn't vote.
Obama was, because Obama kind of came. He was like somebody out of like. He was like a lawyer out of Chicago. I think he was a senator before that.
He was he went senator. People hated him because
Well, he
his
never
speech, and
voted.
then he went back to
He was
to
always
be a
like
pastor.
He was always like not voting. He was always like not like active in politics, even though he was a senator for Illinois. But if you looked at it from like the populist vote, like who should you vote for? It was like I always felt like, man, this guy seems like very. He was like a Kennedy. He was like the Black Kennedy of like that era.
He's
He was,
what everybody
He was
wanted.
young. He had like he was well poised, and I kind of was like, okay, that seems good.
kind
You
of.
know, no, but like,
But how many people
looking
voted
back
for
at-
him based on he was black? A lot of us. A lot of people. And that was it.
Yeah.
That honestly probably was like I don't know. I definitely didn't vote on him just solely for the fact that he was black. I will say that I voted for him on the ideal that I feel like black people deserved a black president, and that I would hope that by him being president it would somehow like diminish some of like the angst in the country of like the inequality that existed, which is not like the
Wait,
it's not
Dwayne's
the-
going. Go, Dwayne.
it's not the correct thing to do, because that's like black, like it's like sympathy in some ways, but I there was never a contender that had ever been at that place in time where you think, if you look back, and I don't know if you were old enough to remember, but like
Seventh grade.
everybody kind of wanted Colin Powell to run back in the day, like, and he never really did, and he had like the opportunity after Bush, like he could have been like a predecessor, like where he could have moved into that like space. And once again, it's still on this like kind of black sympathy like vote. But I think it could have done, like, and there was hope that it could do something for the country in like a collaborative like ideal where like it did bring the country together, and that like we're okay with this because it was something weird that had never been done that like ought to be done, and it shouldn't have been done just for the fact that he was black. But I also think that he was probably the better candidate as well because because
give Dewayne give Dewayne a chance answer.
The only thing
the alternative was a weirdo.
Oh, that was the same thing with Donald D. It was like some of these elections.
Give me that D.
Some of these elections
Probably
are like we're gonna give you options,
Most
but
definitely the
come
best.
on, guys. Like when he was running against Hillary, it was like
Hillary was the craziest.
We call her
bitch.
Hillary.
It was like a no-brainer when they were running. But like the thing that kills me, okay, yeah, Obama was black, but I didn't know that you can make lynching people against the law. He didn't do that.
No.
Biden did that. And after he did that, I was like,
right?
Why wouldn't the black guy abolish people being lynched? Why wouldn't he? That's because elections are coming up. When Asian hate happened, first day in office, he made a law against hating on Asian people. Never did nothing for black folks. He came out with
that Asian hate thing was weird.
It was like, I think it was just to take your eyes off of something.
It's exactly right now with these fucking mass shootings, dude.
It was taking your eyes off of the fact that like Wuhan could possibly.
It's the same shit with the mass shootings,
or
dude.
maybe it was the quarterback from Texas, Watson. Taking your eyes off of Watson, crazy,
dude. That's all it is. Because before the Asian hate, what was we focused on? The Spanish kids in prison, the immigrant children in prison. Then after that, you had the black folks that was at the Haiti border being whipped by motherfuckers on horses with whips. So you know what they did?
But that was such horseshit though too. That was all like fucking wild. Well, okay, if you're talking about Haiti, maybe something different. But when they were talking about the southern border of Mexico, like, do you remember those videos when they came out?
Yeah, those photos were fabricated.
Oh, that was like total crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about Haiti, that's different.
Yeah, it was just like insane that I didn't know that shit like that was shit, able to be
what
passed.
You just said was like the shit, right? Like, so you made the best point first. The fact that there was somehow a law that needed to get passed for black people not to be able to get lynched in 2022.
And it wasn't even by the first black president.
That's wild.
That's
wild.
Crazy.
But that's a dumb shit where it's like you can't eat fucking ice cream on a Sunday riding a bicycle shit. But you would hope. But still, that's one you should have done.
But see, it's the difference from selling love, selling a dream, selling representation versus being hated and just doing what your voters want to be done. He needs the black vote. So that's why he's like, all right, guys. So George Floyd policing, we got you.
Do you think that he was sitting on that?
Dude, Dwayne's on fire, dude. That's
you said what?
sick.
You think he was sitting on it though?
Sitting on what?
So I'm just like, okay. So you have
Obama?
No, Biden
was sitting on.
So you have. Okay, here's where my mind goes, right? Like, and I get what you're saying. You're like, okay, this guy's like pro his populace, like he's like advocating for the people, like in some way. My thing is like, you did have a black president come through. That law was never abolished, and the reason I think it was never abolished was probably because it was it was ludicrous that it was even existing. Like it was like a fucking crazy law that like nobody in their right mind would ever like justify in the modern age, right? So it's like this loophole weird shit that exists. But then somebody was like, one of the aides was like, Obama, you don't gotta do this. But like Joe Biden, they got in his ear and they're like, hey, they have this law that you can like abolish where like you can't lynch people anymore. You should like totally abolish that shit to get your ratings up. Hey, like that's where
totally need that black vote.
Yes. And I'm like, that's where it gets cheapened for me, where I'm like, okay, this law was kind of ludicrous to begin with. And Obama was like, we ain't like, what? We're not even going to spend our time on this because it's so absurd.
Because he was selling love. He was loved. He didn't need to do what you wanted him to do.
Yep. But then when they needed it, they were like, Biden, we got this black law for you. We need to get the fuck out of here. Like, people are going to love you for this shit if you just like abolish this. And I'm just like, it just seems cheap to me that they like. I get it. I get him like placating to his crowd, the black vote, like, and that's not his crowd, but it's like a portion of the crowd that the Democrats try to play. And so you have this law that's like sitting over here on the shelf that they can like go after. Yeah, it is. But it's like, is that worth Obama's time? No. Like, but it's like it's still over there on the back fence. I'm like, when we need it, we got it.
That's
and that seems cheap to me.
But it only came after the woman who fucking lynched. What's his name?
It always starts with a woman.
I know.
Oh my god!
You give him the right to vote.
You know,
the
first, like the boy that got lynched super bad.
Emmett Till. He couldn't have gone after him.
But
that wasn't
enough. The law got passed after she died, and after she admitted that. Okay, the only reason that the only reason I got him killed is because his sisters had nicer dresses than me, and I don't think people of color should have dresses that nice.
They killed him because he was black.
Only because she said that he molested her.
Because he was black. He was in the wrong neighborhood in a white.
You never heard of Emmett Till?
Emmett Till he went down to Mississippi. He was in a white.
Dude?
This was a dude.
A little boy.
He was
14.
He was like kind of like made for stage cute. Like he was like a
young Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was like a pretty guy. Like he was a pretty dude. He was in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time. I think it was Mississippi.
When was this?
This is back in like the 1950s, maybe. Like
very long time.
Oh, yeah, back when you were 30.
When you can lynch people for fun, type shit.
Shit.
And the
it was
police
maybe
would be like, I got a rope.
it was in between like civil rights and like the civil rights movement. Like it wasn't like completely out. It was like in that gray area where like, okay, they're like black people are free, but then it's like Jim Crow still going on.
Okay.
And there's like weird shit happening. It might have been pre-50s. It could have been like the 40s. I'm not 100% sure. Basically, black kid goes down. I think it was in Mississippi. Goes down into a predominantly white neighborhood. Something gets spat about like at a bar after the fact. That like I think it was
the girl said that he molested her. He told her dad.
He molested her.
A white girl.
A white girl. Her dad and his boys went back.
How old was this kid?
14.
He was 14.
14. Okay.
So the horror of it. There's two sides of it. They beat him to a bloody pulp. That's the first.
Hung him with barbed wire. Shot him.
No, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first atrocity. It was like literally what happened to him. But then they posted this in the paper. So there's pictures of Emmett Till.
Because the mom didn't want it blurred out because the police didn't want to do anything.
There wasn't a closed casket. So they shot pictures of him publicly. And the picture of him as a child, as a 14-year-old boy living and breathing next to his beaten bloody corpse in the casket were so atrocious.
Yeah.
That it pisses me off right now.
That sucks.
Like it was so.
And that law got passed after the woman who made it happen died.
No, it was blatant fucking racism, like at the most like epic core of like what the country was going through at the time and like how cynically disgusting people could be. And it was played out on
like
a 14-year-old.
No remorse for a human body.
It was like, this is what this is. This is what this can become. This is like what this can like transcend to. And you have like this picture translates into this picture. Like, how do you feel about yourself? And it was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like it was the most despicable, like side by side. It was crazy. Like the bloated, bloody face of this kid was like horrific.
Oh,
I can literally see
I can literally see his face in my head right now. The police didn't want to do nothing. So she was like, to wake the community up, I need y'all to see what these guys did to my son.
Yeah, she was like an advocate for it. She aired it all out. But
his mom.
But what it did was it put it point blank in your face. This is what it is, and the image is horrific.
Yeah,
it's a dead corpse that's been beaten to death. Next
barbed
to the
wire.
Yeah,
they shot him.
Insane.
All kind of shit, dude.
Oh, I mean, his head's twice this. I mean, it's grotesque.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy looking when you're looking. You're like, oh my god, like I don't even want to look at this. Like, not even knowing this person. Like, let alone if you like knew this person. It's like terrible shit.
But let's lighten the mood.
Well, if we want to lighten the mood on this, I have a off the subject, I guess. I have a question. It's like the last question, kind of.
What's up?
All right.
How many of those questions are black related?
Yeah. How many of those
None.
questions have we actually covered?
Actually, 0. Do you want to watch it? We've covered none of them, but it's fine.
Let's burn them out here. Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
go.
Would you rather take 1 million right now guaranteed, or flip a coin for $1 billion?
1 million.
I flip it.
Okay, hold on. We'll go around the table, starting at Dwayne. Dwayne, why would you flip it? That's 50-50. You don't get the billion, and that's 100%.
But then
50-50 also don't get the million either.
But that 50-50 is enough for me to be like, damn, I could walk away with nothing.
Oh, you said million. You said million.
Yeah, I'd rather get the
yeah,
million
the same as
because
you.
if
Yeah.
it's 50-50 billion, it's like I'm gonna be like, oh,
Okay, so you take the million.
back to poverty I go.
What's the first thing you do? What's the first thing you do with the million?
Invest. I would invest it into first thing I would do. I would definitely invest into like a bunch of those programs, like the mentorship programs, just to get like a better understanding of where to put my dollar. And then
Okay.
like shit, honestly invest a lot of it. I wouldn't spend any of it on anything. I would be
Yeah, because technically to you, if you were granted $1 million, it doesn't really exist to you. You didn't you didn't put a lot of effort into obtaining that 1 million. It kind of just there,
Yeah,
right?
because I need to exercise myself to get up to that billion. Plus, honestly, I think there's no way you can be a billionaire in this world without doing something awful to kids.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That is so fucking
There's no
crazy.
way.
Dude,
Either you're
I'm telling
fucking them,
you.
you're eating them.
Dude.
One of them.
I am telling you.
There's no
think,
way.
Yeah, listen, hold on. I've told people about you and just about how we met, like wakeboarding
Dude,
and how
okay,
much fun.
dude,
but I was like, but
Brad.
he thinks the fucking
These
dead
guys-
ass.
Hey,
would
my
not stop
wife, my
talking
wife,
in the back
my
of my
wife
car.
was nonstop
I'm
like,
about to
babe,
shut down
Marky
right now.
loves you.
Dude, I
I'm
was
like,
telling
Marky
her.
is my dog.
I met his wife always like 35 minutes before he even got there, right? And she was like, "Oh, Dwayne's coming." I was like, "Wait, hold on, why is he not here like right now, sitting on my lap, or I was sitting in his lap? Like, what the fuck?" She's like, "Oh, he's like going home, like getting freshened up, like he's gonna be out here." I said, "Fuck yeah, dude!" So fucking excited, right? But it's so funny because I've told multiple people about just how me and you think the same. I was like, yo, like I went wakeboarding, I met this motherfucking dude, and guess what? We think dead on. The same lineage of thought process is me and Dwayne.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because I meet people that are similar and like-minded, which is I'm fine with. But to think the exact, because you were taking words out of my mouth, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's
like,
what I was telling
say
Marcus
that.
after we dropped you off. He's like, so what do you think of Marky? I'm like, it's scary how much we're alike, dude.
They
So
had brain
fucking
sex for like 30 minutes in the back of my
Hey,
car on the way home.
Like
Would
because
not
the
stop
entire
talking
time
to
he was
each
just
other.
trying to be awkward, and then all of a sudden he's like,
Wait,
"Do
flat
you
Earth?
believe in conspiracies?" And I was like, "Do I?"
Yeah.
Do I?
Well, that's the thing.
He put his monocle on. He said,
I fabricated
Cigarette?
that conversation
Yeah,
with
did.
you guys. Like I knew
said
what
it.
was
He
knew
gonna
he was
happen.
doing- he was being the
I was like,
proctor.
all right, here you go.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm tired of listening to you guys breathe.
The only thing different between me and Dwayne is like I'm way taller. That's like literally the
Yeah.
only
Honestly,
difference. Honestly,
dick's bigger.
Biggest thing.
yeah.
Jawline
That's
is
it.
obviously a lot more chiseled.
Zac
And I can
Efron.
wakeboard. That's the only real. Let's be real. That's real.
Wakeboard for now. I went one time. I went snowboarding the first time, fucked up. Second time, I was on blue, baby.
Oh, wait, are you going tomorrow?
Going where? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you are. Okay.
But everybody's pussy because you're not going. So I was like,
Oh.
all right, everybody wants to do the jump thing.
Hey,
I'm doing an
anniversary,
open
guys.
house for real estate.
So you're gonna be busy.
Well, yeah, I have to be there. Sadly, I mean, not sadly.
Shmoney.
Yeah, shmoney.
Money.
Anyways, so you would do the million.
Yeah,
That's
easy,
what,
hands
That's
down.
what I would do. Okay.
Because I need to train myself to get up to that level. If you give somebody $1 billion who's not financially literate, it's a countdown to when that billion's closed.
Which would take a while, but it would inevitably happen.
They're gonna buy a whole bunch of fucking liabilities, not invest in any assets, not
Do you
make
know-
any money, and get fucked in.
Do you know how many strippers I could fit in Braden's backyard with $1 billion?
You know how many strippers you could fit down
About
here?
10 fat ones.
Like at least 75. Yeah. Anyways, Braden, $1 million right now guaranteed, or $1 billion flip a coin?
Is there any dirty strings attached to the billion?
No, you just get the $1 billion, but you have to flip the coin
You gotta
yourself.
kill 2 kids a year.
No.
What the fuck?
that's not the
no,
key.
Dwayne, no, Dwayne. There's no. Listen, we're not doing the.
So he said there's no good way. There's no clean way to get $1 billion.
No, there's a clean way. I literally give you the $1 billion.
Bezos for sure kills kids.
No, I know, but
That's what
we're
I'm
not
asking.
talking
I'm
that.
just
We're not
saying,
talking
like
that.
right now in this hypothetical.
We're trying to be
no
light,
string
guys. We're
attached.
trying to be light.
If I get $1 billion, I don't have to do anything weird.
Nothing bad.
No.
It's
So
a genie,
there's the one way
a
that
genie
you
in the
can-
bottle.
Yeah.
You have to watch a kid get killed.
No, Dwayne. There's nothing bad.
Nothing.
Dwayne's like, I want to be a billionaire. No. There's not. It's no string attached. I literally am just this genie that's like, you have $1 million, or you flip this nice coin, and you get $1 billion. But you lose the coin, you don't get either.
Without any doubt, 1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion untaxed.
I'm going for the billion
Okay,
too.
you- Flip a
I'll
coin.
go for the billion.
Why?
100% of the time.
Why?
Every time.
Why?
50% chance. If you don't hit $1 billion, one random person from your family dies.
You can flip $1 million
Wait,
for
why is
because $1
somebody
million.
dying all the time?
Here's why.
Guys,
Here's why.
Dwayne, no.
Here's why. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine what it is like to be a millionaire,
Okay.
but I can't imagine what it's like to be a billionaire.
And if you don't flip the coin correctly, you will never experience it
But
either.
hear me out
No,
on
it's
this
not
too.
true.
Hear me out
But
on-
if you do the $1 million, you could
Why?
potentially.
Because I can become a millionaire.
yeah, millionaires is a small number compared to billions.
I know. Actually,
Yeah.
1
ridiculously
million,
small.
1 million, like you'd burn through that very, very fast.
I know what
Especially in today's world.
I know
Yeah.
what $1 million is.
Yes.
I have no idea what $1 billion is. That's
So
why
you
I
would take
take
that
the
chance.
risk every
I would
single
take that
time.
risk.
I don't
That's
even.
three
I don't even-
commas. Even
I
1
don't, I don't
billion,
even. I
you're
don't
set
even.
for
I
life.
don't even know what that could be. I have no concept of $1 billion.
It could be a
Neither
billion.
do you, and neither do you, and
No, I
neither
have
does
no.
he.
I have a slight concept.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, billion is beyond.
Billion.
Like you're
the
walking
potential.
through any door.
There's when
With their wiener out.
There's a
With kids
story.
on the other side.
With
There's
a
a
clock
story.
on the wall.
There's a story. It could be bullshit. When Mark Cuban made like his like fat stacks, there was a card that was available through American Airlines, and you could buy it, and it was like $350,000. But
wipe
you
my
could
ass with
literally like at the point buy it at that time, and you could fly anywhere in the world as much as you wanted,
Wow.
unlimited
That's insane.
forever.
Wow.
One ticket.
And he bought it, and he like literally traveled for like a year and a half. But like when you have $1 billion, the amount of terrain that you can cover is unfathomable. Like you can become so interconnected, like not even to describe like the amount of wealth that you could like generate with $1 billion if you had access to it, but the amount, like your world would become huge.
Okay.
You
Question.
could, you could live a life that like nobody could
Any
live.
doors, any cars, anything.
There's,
Any
woman.
bitch.
there's a handful of people in this town
Any
right
bitch.
now that could be millionaires, and you could live the exact same life as them.
Okay, so I have a question.
Handful. But if you're a billionaire living in this town or like anywhere in California, you live a life that like literally less than 1% could ever
Less than
fathomably
1%.
live.
You would be a part of that.
You
1%.
could. You are the most elite. You are literally sitting floor-side at every single sporting event that you ever want to go to. You are in the front row of every single concert you've ever wanted to been
You can
to.
buy a fucking
You're going.
team.
You are flying to France to go like sit front row. Like anything that you want to do for the rest of forever.
It's like you can't even spend that much money.
You
in a
can't
lifetime.
not
Yeah.
spend that much money. Like the amount from $1 million to $1 billion is
I know. I watched a video on
unfathomably
it.
larger.
I watched a video.
You
on it.
watched the Rice video. It's
No. I watched the how far this guy travels.
Have you ever
every
seen
foot.
the Rice video?
Yes, but I watched a video where this guy said, every foot I travel is going to be $1. He walked around a parking lot to his car and hit like 875,000. He drove across the parking lot and to the exit and hit $1 million. It's like, okay, we're at $1 million. I'm going to drive to $1 billion. The video is 43 minutes long and he drove to $1 billion. Every foot is $1.
I could be wrong right
That's
now, but it's
insane.
literally you're betting 50-50, but it's 100,000 to 1.
Okay, question for Marcus.
That's
you
what
want to
you're
flip the
betting.
coin.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good answer.
You win the $1 billion.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you do?
Oh, for me, I'm buying off everyone's mortgages, and nobody's having to pay whatever.
Buy a
like in
big
my
ass plot of
family,
land,
yeah.
build a neighborhood.
You're
I'll
not even
build-
through.
I'll
You're
build
not
a
even through.
homestead.
You're not even through 5 million yet.
Hold
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I build
Okay.
build a homestead separate for if they want to stay there. That'd be like for the family forever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I'd go travel.
Okay, ready? You flip the coin, Marcus. You win the $1 billion.
Yeah.
What's the first illegal thing you do?
Ooh.
And you don't get caught.
Nothing.
No, you don't get caught.
Doesn't matter. You don't
First
need
it-
to.
first
I'll
illegal
buy some
thing-
people.
You don't need to.
Shut the fuck
This guy's going straight to slavery.
Not slavery if I'm
Human
paying
trafficking.
them.
He's going into human trafficking.
I'm like,
guys.
it's not slavery. You have a salary.
Yeah.
Wipe my ass.
God, dude.
You
Why-
can pay somebody to
why
wipe
my
your
ass?
ass for that.
Yeah.
I don't
price.
even want a bidet
Dude,
for
moms
20
do it
grand.
for free.
Lick it out
Hold
of
on,
my ass.
wait. Question, Marcus.
Just
What's
the
the
tongue
first
comes out.
illegal thing you do?
I'm probably nothing crazy. I'm probably speeding.
I got a toilet tongue.
Hey, next to my toilet is just a woman like this. You're like, Dwayne, what's that? I'm like, sit on it.
Wait, what color hair?
Huh?
What color hair?
She's for sure Oriental. For
no,
sure.
her hair.
Oh,
Black.
black hair. It's in a bun.
But he doesn't
It's in
even
a
know because you can't see your face.
And I'm holding the bun.
Hey, you can't. It's only this. It's only this. It's like my toilet. You got my sink, and then it's like only this down, and it's like in a wall. And you're like, bro, what's that? And you just put your ass on it, and she's just like,
What are we talking
What's her
about
name?
here?
What's her name?
because he's talking about $1 billion.
doesn't
I'm
know-
like, you could pay
he
somebody to
doesn't know
lick
her
your ass
name.
clean for that price. Her name doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Braden, okay, you have to choose. First illegal thing you do with the $1 billion. You don't get caught. Braden's like, invest in his ass licking girl.
Hey, it's gonna be the next new Ring doorbell.
The $1 billion.
Yep, you won. You flip the coin. I hand you over the stack in a cryptocurrency.
First
and
illegal thing.
First illegal
So
thing.
I have time, is what you're not expressing.
You have to
right?
do it
So
right now.
No, but you said first illegal thing. It doesn't mean I have to do
Right
a
now.
legal
I
thing
gave you the
immediately.
money. Yeah, I gave you the money. What's the first illegal thing I do?
Jaywalk.
Respect. Dwayne, what's the first illegal thing
But
you do? Let's say you won the coin.
if you want me to do something sick,
No, I
put-
didn't say that. No, jaywalk's fine. You're
no,
fine.
What'd you do?
I would jaywalk. But what you got to do is you got to put enough money aside that you become so powerful that you can break laws that like literally bend the minds of like politics. That you're actually like an advocate, but you're so powerfully wealthy because of how like implanted you are in like the zeitgeist of like the movement that like you can't be touched. So like if you want to just like break a rule, you just break a rule. You go jaywalk. But if you want to like fuck and like disturb something, like if you want to, if you have an agenda because you have like a belief around something, then you become entrenched in like you do like an Elon Musk move. Like Elon basically like is trying to like kind of disrupt like media in a way by getting involved in like Twitter.
Yeah.
And that could be something that's interesting if you're a billionaire because you're so wealthy and you can have that money so spread out that you'll never really be like incurred based off of like your wealth. But
I just did that. What the fuck? We did the same exact time.
you could do
That's a
something.
trip.
You could do something like that. That's like highly disruptive. That could like mess stuff up.
Facts.
Nobody's listening. Everybody's worried about the pinky.
No, I'm listening. You can
No,
fuck shit
I'm
up.
listening to you.
No, but you could like if I
I'd buy
was
a
gonna do something
hooker.
worthy of being illegal, like I would do something fat.
I'll buy a hooker.
I'd go like figure
her
out.
family.
Those aren't illegal.
I go figure out if the world was flat or not.
Oh,
wanna-
and he brings it full circle.
And then your ass goes to Antarctica and you're going to be like,
Damn, Dwayne was right. Damn,
hey,
Dwayne
as soon
was
as
right.
you pick up the phone, they're going to be like, put the phone down.
Yeah, put the
We
phone
never
down.
said you were leaving.
Hey, wait,
we
hey,
said
wait.
you can come here.
But listen. Plot twist.
You've arrived. Blah.
Wait,
They have a
wait.
Santa party down there every year.
Hold on. Plot twist. It's Dwayne. Put the phone down. Don't tell anybody the Earth is flat.
You're
there,
like,
bud.
Dwayne. I'm like, I tried to tell you.
tried letting you know that
You didn't want to
podcast.
fucking listen.
You didn't listen, motherfucker.
Never listened.
And now you're a billionaire. You think you're hot shit. Guess
The
what? I
Earth's
flipped the
flat.
coin too, motherfucker.
Always
I flipped
has
the
been.
coin
I'm
too.
also a
I tell you,
billionaire.
I would never spend. I would never spend that money
Pepita,
on
click my
trying.
ass.
You have to have like the amount of money that I would have to try to space travel is absurd.
You can't get there.
More than $1 billion.
Firmament. You
It's
have to
gotta be
break through the firmament.
hundreds of billions of dollars to like
Cut a
even
square.
even try
Huge-
to like go
huge
for
square.
Mars.
That's so much money.
2024.
I would just, would honestly just want to be on
2025.
the information side of everything. Like I want to be on the other side of the glass, like the hidden society within the hidden society, like the people who trump
hey,
the
Dwayne, I have a-
Illuminati.
I feel like
I have a hard
I feel
question
like,
for
no,
you.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I want to have some like news reporter come into my yacht every morning and tell me lies. Just like
I'll lie to you for.
if you-
I'll lie to
feed
you
me
for
feed
100,000
me
a year.
bullshit news. You'd be like, everything's good in China. Like it's going great, and I just like sail around the world just like living a lie.
Sail.
I'm gonna hire like my
Hey,
own like newscast
You know who's
just to
sailing
lie
with
to
them?
me.
The guy from the
Like,
fucking water
Or you
park.
could just not fucking watch the news.
No,
and whatever
no.
you think about life is your reality.
I want them to come. I want them to come on TV and me watch them, but they're in the back room and they're just like,
Guys.
everything's good.
Guys, we have
You're
a-
like, hey, how's the global pandemic? They're like, oh, it's over.
What global?
You're like,
It just ended today. You have to wear a
we have a
mask.
real problem.
What?
Well, one,
what?
we're way past time.
What do you mean?
We're over an hour over.
Yeah, hour 47. Actually, hour 50.
Let's go to.
All right, so I'm gonna end this because I have to pee so badly.
It's not a reason to end it.
All
It's a
right.
reason to pee.
You're right. Keep going.
I mean, if you gotta sit down to pee, it's gonna take a while.
I don't sit down to pee. I handstand to pee actually. There, bud.
I believe it.
Yeah, it hits my chin, but I let it go.
Well, I mean, if you stand up straight, you're just gonna pee on your balls anyway.
No, the fucking. That's so fucked up.
Ouch. Hey, don't believe him, Marky.
One
Don't
time
believe him.
I heard a joke.
Hey, no, that wasn't a diss. That was a compliment. You got big balls.
Yeah,
Huge. Massive.
No, one time I heard a joke and this kid said to another kid, I was like fucking 6th grade, said, "Fuck you, your dick's so small you pissed on your own balls." And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Your dick's so small.
I got that from 8 Mile.
Really?
I bet you his dick's so small. I bet you pissed on his balls when he pulled B Rabbit's piss.
I've never seen 8 Mile. No, I know. I understand the concept. Never seen 8 Mile.
Look at me
You
shocked
gotta
at
watch
you.
it.
I've never
You've
seen
seen
Top
it,
Gun
right?
either.
Yeah.
Or Lion King.
Thanks.
Or Lion King.
Lion King's good.
Or Wizard of Oz. Or
Now you're just being funny.
No, being dead ass.
Now you're being funny.
No, I'm not funny.
Wizard of Oz.
Never seen it.
Wait,
Lion King.
Dude, I have to pee. So
What about the?
bad.
Okay.
Dude.
I mean, you did drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Bro,
Look
I
at
have
him.
4
Oh.
here and I'm on my 5th.
I only drink.
we're watching the Wizard of Oz, the
Oh,
Lion
that's my
King after
6th.
this.
Okay, deal. Real quick, not to cut everything short, but I have to pee so bad. Marcus, closing
Yeah.
statements, final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Marcus, me.
Is the world flat?
TBD.
Whoa, good answer.
To be determined. I
You
like
gotta have
that.
Is that what
closing
TBD stands
statement,
for?
To be
think so.
determined.
I thought it was tit, butt, and dick, and I was like, yeah, dude, put me on some. TBD after this. Fuck.
Give me on one of those.
Yeah, shit. Can I sign
have two
up?
to go?
Dude, is it $1 billion? 'Cause I just flipped a coin. Braden, final thoughts, closing statements.
Glad you came on. This is fun.
This is hella
Hell
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Honestly.
I've been waiting for one of these because like there's a lot of people that come on. No disrespect to anybody that's been on, but it's
Disrespect all of
it's,
them.
no, it's rare and fun to have somebody that's like mentally stimulating to the point that like you lose track of time.
And physically
Yeah.
stimulating.
For Marky, yeah, he's got a
got a problem.
He has to pee, but he probably will have trouble through that. You know.
Yeah,
that
I gotta whip
Yeah.
out my clock. I gotta whip out my clock minus the L.
but dude, it's good to be on with somebody that's just like I could literally have sat here for 2 more hours and just continue to talk. Like
Hands down,
for
easy.
real.
Well,
like
I-
it's
like
good
I-
conversation. I love people that are open minded. Like I try to be as much as I can. You know, I'm not perfect. I have
No,
my
we
own
know.
opinions.
You're
Hashtag
born in the
fuck
50s.
flat Earth.
But you know, it's good to be a part of people that are like, okay, like this is what I think, this is what you think, and let's just like talk about it. You know,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
Real
I love
quick,
that.
another reason why I'm cutting it is because my phone's like almost out of storage, so like I really gotta be careful. And so is the SD card, so that's like literally another reason other than that.
Should I hurry up and close it out?
No,
then?
you're good. No hurry. I'm just saying they could be all. I don't know. I'm just on a time limit in my head, so I've been worried about that. But Dwayne, final thoughts?
Honestly, I feel the same way. Like when he first told me about it, I always told Marcus because like a lot of my episodes on my podcast are solo because it's like I'll try to hit those notes and people get offended right away and be quiet. Or I'll try to take it to that next level of not trying to be so funny. Like, let's get serious and let's see where your mind's at. Oh, what are you talking about? And I'm like, why
Feel
the
me.
fuck are you here right now?
Yeah. You're not on
And
the
then
same
it's
level.
like being here, like your whole demeanor, your ideology, like I guarantee if you go back on it, you're gonna catch me smiling. Because even though you was talking shit, it's like a lot of the shit you was saying, it was like, he's right.
Yeah.
It's like I said, if you right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And it's like, you made a lot of valid points. Do I think the earth is flat? No, but I do believe it's a lot more than what
Yeah.
we're
Hey,
showing.
and I don't disagree. Honestly, like I'm just
Like-
like I'm as much as I have my opinions, I'm also like he was saying, he's like, oh, I don't believe this or that, because I was talking to him, I was like, it's all relevant to the times, right? Like I am like, what I always look at is, not to get on a tangent, but what every generation or civilization thought in the past, it's almost been like unanimously, like more or less disproven. Like it becomes like there's more information that comes out, and it becomes like there's more information, and then that changes the past. Like, and you look back and you go, oh, they weren't actually accurate, like because of this, that, and the other. And I don't think that we're living in a time that's not like still the case. I think what we believe right now is still subject to that, like that futuristic like knowledge that's going to disprove what we're believing right now. So like, I don't know.
1,000%.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like why should I be attached to like my own beliefs? Like there's no reason to be so attached to them because like history like would say that it's probably wrong.
Yeah. 1,000%.
So be open to like whatever. So like, okay, like the world's less big than what I believe. Could be true.
That's
Like,
exactly how I feel.
Doesn't not make sense what you're saying. I'm like, okay, like yeah, okay, that could be true.
And it's like a lot of points you're saying. It's like, okay, that is also true. That is also a really good position. But it's like at the end of it, you only know what you read, and I only know what I read.
Yeah.
Until we're up there,
We don't know.
we don't fucking
We
know.
don't know. Until
Andy's
then, we're
back.
just guessing.
Hell yeah, man. I fucking
I
love
cried.
being here, man. I gotta come back, guaranteed.
You can come on whenever the fuck you want, honestly.
Bro, if it's on Fridays,
We only film on Fridays.
I'll be here.
But when he starts football, we got to start filming on Thursdays, or we could do Saturdays. So it'd be up to like the guest, really.
If it was Saturdays, that's fine. If it was
Okay, cool.
Thursdays, I work like 12-hour days.
Okay, Thursday.
Like, that would not
Saturdays
happen.
it isn't. I would say, dude, I forced my pee out. Like enough to where
It
like,
was quick.
dude, I fucking peed. And here's my final
drink a lot
thought.
of beers.
Here's my final thought. Ready? How come I can shake 100 times, but when I fucking reinsert it, there's always a little dribble in my underwear?
Because you have
Does that
a
happen to you
huge
too?
clit.
Well, yeah. Okay, so it didn't happen to you either. The fuck?
Honestly, I'd say you gotta milk your shit.
You want the truth?
Bro, I fucking squeegee. I milk.
You want to know? You want to know what it is?
Good.
You gotta pull your balls out too.
Everything's out. I put my pants hit my ankles.
Milk your shit.
Wait,
Don't
what?
shake it like.
Oh, what?
I
You
feel
pull-
like you gotta be all out. If you like try to just pull it out, you're gonna.
No,
you're
everything's
always
out.
gonna-
I never
Everything's out.
thought of that.
Everything's out.
Pull your dick in. You pee with your balls inside your underwear.
No, he
if
sits
if
down.
it's like a quick piss and I just gotta whip it out.
You don't.
sometimes, I'm
ever-
just like
you know how like when a hose when the water's coming out and you do this.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like when the tension's like on your
Oh,
sack.
It doesn't
you're right,
feel
you're
like
right.
that
let
when
that
there's
shit out.
a
Yeah.
long length of distance. But
Yeah,
maybe
Can't relate, Mark.
Can't relate.
Let it all out.
Must be nice.
I'm trying to get out.
All I'm saying is gravity's a thing.
Gravity
Yeah.
doesn't exist, and I can explain why after this, though.
No,
Oh, God.
gravity actually doesn't exist.
Thank you. Well,
It's all a
theory.
construct.
I
Yeah,
would
it is.
say
They actually
social.
don't know what the measurement of gravity is.
They
Fun
say it's
fact.
9.28 meters squared, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
believe
that-
that.
meters per
That's
second
only
squared.
that's very like up for debate.
Yeah, up
It's a
for
theory
a
of
master
gravity.
debate later in the shower.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Back to back.
I would say back to back. I was like, Dwayne,
Are you done?
we're like helping each other though, you know. Anyways, what?
Have you heard of a Dutch rudder?
No, what is that?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. I heard of a Dutch oven, not Dutch red. All right. Dude, I would say, dude, three things. One, super glad I met you that day. And super
Shouts
glad
out to Marcus for the introduction.
Yes. Yes.
Well, look at what happened too.
Seriously?
And then I finally met
I
Brayden.
got to meet him.
Brayden's the dog now.
And me and him text almost daily. Just
To
for
be
fun
honest,
just for fun.
The next day, like
Yeah.
we were texting essays,
Bro.
And then today,
Like we're in a
nonstop.
relationship type shit.
And
yeah.
then when I sent him the selfie of the shades, he's
Yeah,
like my wife, she's like, "Who the fuck are you texting?" I'm
They
like,
look
"Dude, I'm
good.
texting Marky right now."
Dude,
What's that bitch's name?
fucking, his name's Marky, and he's one of the coolest ever.
And he's a very great lover.
Very
That's what I had
tan.
to tell her.
Very
also
tall.
very
Never
talented.
missed a
Thank you.
spot.
Dang.
Nope, good. So very
fun.
glad. Actually, super fun. Had a great ass day.
Yes, sir.
Next time we go, for sure, you're gonna get up
Oh,
on
you
the
gotta be
water. Don't
back.
worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
going.
got
We're
Brayden's
going.
going with us. Don't
Oh, yeah.
worry. It's gonna be a good time.
I'll eat
Two,
shit too. They'll think I'm black. I'm gonna be drowning.
Hey, the guy who owns it, he's like, "You want a refund or anything?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm good."
He's like, "Are you sure though? Are you sure?"
Hey, he's
The
looking
owner?
around the park like, "Bro, are you sure you're like the only one here?"
You're the only one drowning, also, which is weird coincidence, but whatever.
Hey, my
Hey,
vest
it is
was
what it is.
loose. After that, I start
You don't have to
swimming with my
explain.
feet
You
up.
don't have to explain.
I'm swimming with my feet up like, man, that shit caught me off guard. I can really swim.
I'm gonna die.
That's one of my friends.
Two, dude, I really fucking super respect your whole Hydro Flask business. That's super awesome.
that's
Thank you, bro.
When you
Thank
explained that
Thank
to me,
you.
dude, I was like, and still in awe. And like, dude, I'm going to for sure, literally buy one from you very soon.
You
Probably,
can have
like,
one.
tomorrow.
You always say
No, no.
that, and
I
then I,
wanna
see
buy it.
you, and then you don't be having it.
I know, but I want to buy it from you.
It's good.
All right, cool.
It's good.
So we're doing that. Next podcast, you'll see I'll have it on here and it'll be full of
I
beer.
honestly should have fucking brought it. Filled it up with beer.
I swear I thought you were gonna bring it. I swear I was like, we could talk
I
about
didn't know it was gonna be like this, motherfucker.
I showed you a picture.
No, you didn't.
Oh, Marcus. I definitely showed Marcus.
Yeah, I
Wow.
saw it.
Hey, I'm glad you were prepared, Marcus. I would have brought it, filled it up with beer, and had that shit right here the whole time.
Dude, we should have. I swear I thought you were. Well, I mean, if it's
It's
your
all right.
brand, you
The
should have
next
brought
time.
it.
It's
There
all
we
right.
go.
Next
Next time.
time.
Yeah, okay,
Next
okay.
time.
Respect. All right, so that, and then 3, super fucking cool how, I mean, not only did we talk about how we're on the same page and vibe with like the same everything, but also in this podcast, on film, we both did this, not even knowing, which is fucking sick as fuck.
But
So
you know why we did that? Because you said
Because he said it, yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah, he said
And
it
then
like
as soon
Dr.
as he
Evil.
said that, I was like,
so was
"One
I."
bit," and then I turned and he was like,
Dude, that's so sick as fuck because like, I've genuinely told so many people that like just how much fun I had that day.
"You can kill it."
Yeah, well, let's just keep the headsets on because it's easier to hear.
Okay, real quick.
That's it. Your Auntie's
I want
favorite
to end one last thing and we'll continue after this. We'll do a bonus content. Dwayne,
Some
it was an
ASMR.
absolute pleasure being on. I'm glad I got to spend my Friday with you motherfuckers tonight. It was very
Yeah.
fun. Genuinely
Good
very
time.
fun.
This is the most lit Friday I've had in a while.
But because I don't want anything important to get lost on the fucking like it gets cut out like halfway through, I'm gonna cut everything and yeah.
all right.
Dwayne, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
Braden,
you
what do
guys
you
for
think?
having me.
Of course.
Dude, it was great.
All right, I'm cutting everything off.
Oh, we're gonna keep them on.
Jeez.
Bonus content, you got PP.
My phone died.
How
No
far?
shot.
Hopefully the fucking audio is still going because my phone is dead. Oh no. And that's what I was worried about.
Oh no.
Bro, what kind of charger do you have?
I have a pad charger because my phone's broken.
Bro, I literally brought my my speaker in.
I should fuck her in the Benz.